of change are being felt every week. We are live, man. Chris Jericho and Nick Gage tonight. The light bulbs were brought out. Question is, did Jericho survive? And if he did, what is labor number 3? Tony Khan announces that AEW will debut in the United Center. And Darby Allin pretty much said that he is looking to wrestle the best in the world. And Adam Page loses his number 1 contendership tonight. No longer will he be challenging Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. What is going on and what is happening next? Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Gage says it's MDK all day, motherfucker. It's OTS all day, right here for the AEW Dynamite post show on Off the Script. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for July 28th, 2021. I am JD from New York. I am joined by my very good friend, Jesse. What is going on, man? Another night. You said it best, my friend. You said it best. Wednesday night is the start of your wrestling week.
Man.
How do you feel after a Wednesday, man? I'm telling you, man. I love how we feel after a Dynamite is over. I really do.
I know, right? I mean, it was no Monday night, but it was okay.
I'm hyped up. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm not asleep.
Rest.
It's crazy,
feeling
man.
fucking just embarrassed and just shit on and taken for granted.
I know. Intelligence mocked. Feeling like an idiot. It's awesome, man. I don't even know where to begin, Jesse. You said it to me before we went live. We got a lot to unpack here. I don't even know where to begin. I got so much CM Punk news. I got news on what the Bucks have said, what has Tony Khan said to the New York Post. As of today, what has Omega said? Everybody is clearly in the know. They know what's going on. And if nobody knows after tonight with what Darby Allin said, I don't know at the end of tonight who doesn't believe CM Punk is coming to AEW. They don't just drop teases like they did tonight with Darby Allin, with the announcement that AEW is going into the United Center for Rampage second show ever on Friday night, man. That is during SummerSlam weekend.
Bro, let me tell you something. If AEW shows up at the United Center weeks after rumors swirled everywhere about signing CM Punk, and CM Punk does not show up, I mean, I think a lot of people, including myself, would just give up on trusting Tony Khan about anything ever again.
All right, so we'll get right into it then, being that you started off with that. You think now, after the announcement tonight, that CM Punk has to debut in the United Center on Rampage?
Yeah, and the precedence for that is the Christian Cage bullshit. He led us on with these hints of it was going to be someone big, and we got completely let down. And since then, Tony Khan has never built something like that up to let us down again. He's been a little bit more straightforward, and our surprises have become surprises. This is completely leading everyone down the path of Punk will be here on this night. If he does not provide Punk, it is going to be the biggest letdown in recent memory, man. You can't do that. You can't do that.
So, Punk actually Instagrammed this. He didn't even tweet it. He Instagrammed it, and he played the Alan Parsons Project, and that is the famous song that the Chicago Bulls came out to during the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen era. So clearly he was, I guess, teasing a reality happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like signing Bryan and Punk has shifted a lot of things, and that might be the reason behind this Hangman situation as well.
Well, I got news on that. AEW has had to revert plans. They've changed course with their creative, with Tony Khan signing Daniel Bryan and CM Punk in the same week. I thought it was a situation that was not going to be, I don't want to say logical in AEW's mind, but now that I'm thinking about it, and I was on the Twitter Spaces today with Ticket Drew, and we did a whole roundtable discussion on Dynamite before the show live tonight. We talked about Tony Khan. It's probably in his best interest to sell pay-per-views and market the pay-per-view after CM Punk, because he's got a sold-out arena for the Now Center, and imagine the pay-per-view buys that man will do if CM Punk is announced before September 5th on AEW television, maybe even having a match on the show. How many more tickets, how many more buys he would have on pay-per-view leading into that show? It would absolutely be the number one show AEW's put on pay-per-view-wise, buy-wise in the history of the company. And I thought it was probably going to be a way where they did the same thing with John Cena. WWE did with John Cena. He shows up at the pay-per-view. They announce him on Dynamite. They announced Cena on Raw. First word spoken in a very long time, coming back. Why is he back? Challenging Roman Reigns. I figured that was the same way Tony Khan was going to go and do it with CM Punk and just announce his I guess, Dynamite debut and a live mic in his hand after all these years. I guess that is not the way that they may be going about this.
No, yeah. They already had their all-out booked plan, all that stuff, tickets sold, and then they announced the shows that's coming up in less than 2 weeks. There is no way that they just out of the blue quickly booked the United Center for a TV show.
No.
And then hinted that Punk is coming just for Punk to not be there. I shit you not. You thought that shit that happened at GCW was fucking crazy? They will tear down the fucking arena.
It's a 1 hour. It's a 1 hour show, though. And it goes on after SmackDown during SummerSlam weekend. That's a pretty bold move for Tony Khan, if that is what he's doing, to debut Punk on a 1 hour show and during SummerSlam weekend, because you're going to get all the fucking geeks online, saying Tony Khan has now tried to steal the spotlight away from WWE during their biggest show of the year. Whatever the case may be. I mean, this is the biggest thing in all of professional wrestling right now, with him going out and getting Punk and how to debut Punk and Daniel Bryan, the same thing. But that's a pretty bold move to do that on a 1 hour show, don't you think?
It feels like Tony Khan is moving in for the kill, man.
Yeah, well, it certainly does feel that way, yeah.
It feels like he's going for the fucking jugular. He knows he's got WWE backing up. They're on the defensive. They're scrambling with their talent. They're changing rules, changing schedules, doing this. It feels like he just has them on the run. I mean, look, again, they're not going anywhere. But the more mistakes that they make, the more AEW benefits from.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they got to sell that. I mean, it got announced tonight, and that Darby promo tonight, the 30 seconds that was sending Twitter into a fucking frenzy tonight. That was by design. Tony Khan, did that purposely, and that is pretty much going to sell. How many seats does that arena hold? What, 18,000, 19,000?
Bro, no, man. The United Center will get up to about 20, depending on how they set the layout and everything.
So if they continue to do teases like this for the next couple of weeks, that shit's going to be sold out instantly.
Yeah. The tickets going to sell in what, 2 days?
Yeah.
Fans have had 2 days notice, and I bet you that shit sells out quickly.
Yeah.
And it could be an hour show. I really don't care. They're not going to bring us in, do an hour show, and leave. We're going to get all kinds of dark matches and shit like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's about being there on Punk's debut.
Yep.
And I'm down the street. I'll be there, man.
And with this huge tease that Darby Allin gave us tonight, I mean, it got everybody excited for a potential match with Darby and CM Punk. If that is what they're doing, we don't know what their plans are going to be. This might have just been by design, and we see the match at a later date, not necessarily during this all-out phase. But you said, Jesse, to me that Darby Allin doing this and having a potential dream match with CM Punk, if CM Punk is coming into AEW, he certainly has given Tony Khan a list of people that he wants to work with already. If Darby Allin was at the top of CM Punk's list over everybody, over a Page, over an Omega, over a Penta, over an Andrade, a Black, a Miro, all these guys, that is pretty much the biggest takeaway that Darby Allin can hang his hat on, his proverbial hat on, in his young career so far.
Yeah. I think Punk left the ring in 2013, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're looking at about eight and a half years.
Yeah.
This guy's been spent 8.5 years out of the ring, and he's ready to step back in. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and just guess that he was allowed to pick at least his very first opponent, and he picked Darby Allin. Bro, that is got to be the biggest nod, the biggest compliment that Darby Allin will probably ever get. I mean, just the trust that Punk has in him to make sure that he looks great in his return match.
Well, I mean, that's what I told you. I mean, a match with Darby. I mean, Darby is fucking fantastic at what he does. I mean, how many guys has he made look so good with him being in the ring? I mean, if you want Punk to be on that level that he was 7-8 years ago, and Darby Allin is your first opponent, I don't know if there's anybody more perfect for CM Punk, because I know we're going to see some ring rust from CM Punk, but I don't think there's anybody that's going to make him look damn near perfect outside of a Darby Allin. He's going to sell and bump for him and make him look like he hasn't missed a fucking day in 8 years.
It is. Thanks, Chad. It was 2014. So a good 7.5 years. And man, it's, yeah. I mean, think about all the matches we've seen with Darby, and every time we come out of them, like, that was a great match. Yep. Look what Darby did. I mean, we started noticing that a little bit into it, that every match Darby comes out of, I mean, both players come out looking a little bit better, at least a little bit better every time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, him picking Punk, Darby is God, man, he's a young fucking prodigy. And I hate to see him have to go out and lose to somebody as old as Punk. But at the same time, you can't put Punk in the ring with just a random jobber. You can't put him in the ring with a QT Marshall.
I don't think, I get what you're saying. I don't even think it's a loss for Darby if that's the case. If we're already thinking that far ahead. I mean, being in the ring on that night in that arena, I mean, that's a huge win for Darby, no matter what happens as far as the outcome of that match goes.
Yes. And I wonder if does this tell us anything else? Does this tell us that Punk is coming in as a heel? Because you don't get any bigger as a babyface than Darby fucking Allin in AEW.
I don't even, honestly, if I was Tony Khan, I would not even worry about bringing Punk in as a babyface or heel. Just let it naturally happen. That's what Punk has been so great at and a master at for his entire career. He just goes out there and lets shit happen. You know, if the fans want to turn on him, if the fans want to boo him, they'll boo him. If the fans want to cheer him, they'll cheer him. But I don't think there's going to be any negativity with him coming back. This is a celebratory moment. I mean, both guys in that ring. Honestly, I think this is 23,000 people. Thank you, chat, for the United Center, seating. Yeah. But this is going to be a celebration of professional wrestling. So I don't even give a shit. And Tony Khan, I don't even think gives a shit. The fans don't give a shit what happens between those two guys. They're two beloved figures in this industry that the fans want to see in the ring together, and it's going to be a celebratory moment.
It is, man. It really fucking is. We have mountains of confrontations, if not even if matches, just confrontations and backstage segments and promos we can get into with Punk. We got Punk and Colt Cabana on the same fucking promotion right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the issues they had, I heard they squashed them. The lawsuit was thrown out. I heard they were amicable at this point. I mean, who knows what they end up doing on camera? If nothing else, a good promo and a face-to-face would be fucking epic, man.
Imagine how that locker room is feeling, bro. Everybody's feeling the excited. We're fucking excited. Everybody in this goddamn chat, the 2,200 people in this chat are fucking excited. I mean, the people that have checked out my content last week because of this shit, everybody is excited. It was the biggest. It was a WrestleMania week, bigger than WrestleMania week last week for the fucking for the channel. That's how big this shit is. And imagine what the locker room is feeling. The locker room I read today is already talking about CM Punk and how excited they are.
Yeah, this is not the same as an aging veteran coming in and taking a spot from a younger talent. The thing about this is the reason that the whole locker room is happy because people like Punk and Bryan coming into the company is gonna fill their pockets and put more food on their table.
Yep.
They're bringing a lot more eyes to the fucking company, a lot more. And if you can get in the ring with one of these two guys, guess what? Your stock just rose as well. I mean, these guys are welcomed back there. Not only that, they're fucking respected, if nothing else. But yeah, man, this is the kind of thing that makes them more money. So nobody is upset about this move except WWE.
I don't want to hear anybody saying, "Let's see it. I'm not going to believe it until it happens." Folks, it's happening. It's done. It's happening. It's happening right before your eyes. Everybody that has been asked in the company about this, I'm going to go over these two stories right now, being that we're on the topic. This is the biggest topic in all professional wrestling. Tony Khan was interviewed by the New York Post recently. I don't know when this, I believe it might have been in today's paper, but he was recently interviewed by the New York Post. And they asked him about the Daniel Bryan and CM Punk rumors. And Tony Khan said this, and I quote, "I have no comment on those, but those are good questions, but I can't comment on those questions." And then he said the following when they followed up with the question about Bryan and Punk possibly being on the same roster at the same time for AEW. He said this, and I quote, "I can't comment on Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, but I think they are certainly... there is certainly a lot of exciting rumors happening right now." So the fact that he did not, he didn't avoid the question, but he denied it outright. I can't comment. So that's right there. Denial is the first sense of, or the first inclination of it happening.
Just avoidance is the inclination.
Yeah.
Denial is what we got the last time these rumors really picked up.
Yeah.
And, he flat out said, "Look, I'm not bullshitting you. He's not coming."
Yeah, and this is definitely a they'll be here, and we got another month to go before these guys make their debut on AEW television. Now, the other thing is with WWE, they were in the news regarding CM Punk. Get this, Jesse. I don't know if you read this, but you'll get a kick out of this. Ringside News actually. And they've broken a lot of stories. They broke the CM Punk story. He signed the contract. They had sources of their own that inquired about this, and they got the information back. So kudos to Ringside News. They reached out to their sources in WWE to ask about the general feeling of CM Punk going to AEW. And Ringside News was told by somebody pretty high up in the company that they know. And this was said to them, and I quote, "WWE has no interest in CM Punk and even less for Phil Brooks as a human being. Let him be their headache." And those were direct quotes that Ringside News received upon questioning. So let him be their headache, and they care even less, Jesse, for Phil Brooks as a human being. Sounds like there's some saltiness over there in Stamford, Connecticut.
Let me tell you why this is not news at all. They fired the man on his wedding day.
Yeah.
Clearly, they don't give two shits about Phil, April, or Punk.
Well, to be fair, Jesse, they don't give a fuck about anybody. Not just Phil Brooks. Well, they just did the most evil thing that they possibly could at the time to Phil Brooks.
Well, no, I disagree. I think they have the ones that they love, the ones that they just don't care about, and the ones that they really fucking hate and don't give a fuck about. And Punk lands in that bottom tier. I mean, if you're just there, you're there. Or if you're Charlotte, you're Roman, you're up there. But certain guys they have just hatred for, that's the category Punk belongs to with them. I mean, just because WWE didn't get them back. I mean, and that's all it is. I mean, if they would have got, do you think if Punk would have signed that they would have been sitting there saying, "Oh man, Punk is unstable. He can't be trusted." No, they'd be singing his praises, but they know they can't get him now, so he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's just funny that was the quote that we got back. So I figured I'd throw that in there. Let him be their headache. I don't think Phil Brooks is going to be a headache for Tony Khan at all. I don't get why that was said. Let him be their headache. Maybe you should treat people a little bit better, and then he won't be a fucking headache for you.
I like it when they do shit like that. That'll become a T-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees for Punk before we fucking know it.
Let him be their headache.
It'll be the headache, you know. They'll take it and turn it and use it and make money on it. The same way they did Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
You know, they'll spin that shit though. That's fine. I mean, it could all. Let's say this all goes to shit 4 or 5 years from now. Breakdown, you know. I mean, and just miscommunication, and they all separate. It was still worth it.
Yep.
It was all worth it, man, because the wrestling has been just in the shitter. WWE is still going down the shitter, and AEW is trying to do their best to pull fans back in, give them something to look forward to, give them something to be excited about, something that we don't get with the other wrestling programs right now.
This is what I said on Saturday. This is what I said on episode 384. This should be something that is looked at and celebrated. I don't know why Tony Khan would ever get hate for this. This is Tony Khan giving back to the fans. This is Tony Khan and him showing us how much of a fan of professional wrestling he is. And this should be celebrated by all sides, by both teams, because all I ever wanted, and I've said this for years, all I ever wanted was WWE to have their fucking shit pushed in just a little bit so that they may turn around and say, you know what, we got to do a little bit better than what we're doing because we don't want these other guys to, leapfrog us. But what's going on here is this is a celebration of professional wrestling. If you're a fan of WWE, you should be looking at this as a good thing because this potentially, I don't think so, because that's how fucking thick-headed they are, but in my perfect world, it would be. This is something that would make pro wrestling better and WWE better because everybody's going to be looking at this moment on this weekend in Chicago to step up their fucking game. I mean, this is, and I said it, and you've said it many times too, they set out to change the world. They were doing just fine on their own, but I mean, if they are absolutely in the boat of changing their world, changing the pro wrestling world, I don't think that could be done without Daniel Bryan and CM Punk a part of any fucking company. Honestly.
Yeah. I think, here's the real reason why WWE is pissed about this Punk and Bryan situation. More or less the Bryan situation, believe it or not. I think they're more pissed about the Bryan situation because if you look at Daniel Bryan and Jon Moxley, both those guys did it right. They just let their contracts expire. They refused to resign, and they did the right thing. They completed their obligation to the WWE, and they went to AEW, and they're going to become bigger stars. Now, the thing about WWE and the WWE loyal fans out there, they have this feeling that once you sign there, you're not allowed to want to leave. You're supposed to want to re-sign. And if you don't, you're punished and you'll be buried, which I think is the case with Keith Lee right now. I think his contract was low-key about to expire, so they wanted to re-sign. He wouldn't re-sign. They kept him off TV. They fucking buried him when he got back on TV. I think it's a contract issue. I don't know this with any certainty. He could have years left. I don't know. But it feels like they want him to resign and he wouldn't resign. Maybe they wanted to update his NXT contract. And maybe he didn't want to do that this week. It could be a few things, but I think it's contract related. If they saw him getting over and getting bigger and then not resigning, they don't want to continue to push him then.
I would agree with that. I think it may be a contract issue. When his contract is up, I don't know. But he said, I don't want to get sidetracked here with so much Punk news and Daniel Bryan news still left here. I don't know what he's going to say in a week or two, that he's going to speak to everybody, how he's going to speak to people. Is it going to upset WWE? At this point, I don't even give a fuck if it upsets WWE if I'm him. Just say what you got to say. You know, if they release you, good. Might as well.
What are they going to do, bury him?
He's already been buried. Guy's been on fucking TV for 7 months. He comes back and loses in 5 minutes to Bobby Lashley on his fucking first night back. And then to Karrion Kross.
Yeah. Where the fuck is Mia Yim? She's not hurt.
No, she's not hurt. She was supposed to debut on SmackDown fucking 3 months ago.
The women's division is suffering. She's a fantastic professional wrestler.
I don't know. Definitely a contract. I thought it was a fucking weight thing. They wanted to change everything about him. Apparently not. Maybe a contract.
I think it's combined with the copyright issue and everything else with the name, and then the contract. So they see the writing on the wall. He won't sign over the rights to his name. He won't re-sign a new deal. We're keeping him off TV. We're gonna bury him when we put him back on TV.
Yeah,
same thing they did with FTR. Bury him.
Yeah, you may be right.
You know, it could be, man. It could be.
Well, Kenny Omega was also in the news today speaking about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. He actually spoke about these two with Dave Meltzer, of all people. He said this, and I quote, in regards to both of these guys. They are two very different athletes, two very different performers. I respect both of them. Danielson, I still call him Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan. I always knew that. He was an incredibly intelligent, ridiculous, smart, especially related to professional wrestling. For him to create a movement, a legit movement with the Yes Movement, he created it. And then he put over how Bryan got into the main event of WrestleMania 30 and he emerged a megastar. CM Punk, he went on to say, a guy who probably has a different line of thinking than your current day performer and the average performer, and he has this incredible reputation. His fans, or he has these fans to this day that would follow him to the end of the earth, very dedicated fan base, and that fan base believes he is the best in the world and will be the best until the end of time. If you are able to have people like that who follow your career so passionately, you probably have something very special about you. It goes to show you that the way he has been presented and presented himself, the way that he spoke about himself, the way he spoke to his opponents, the way he performed in the ring, his entrance music, his image, it was all very meticulous. And he was very intelligent about how he wanted to do it. And then he says this, Jesse, and this is where, it really kicked it into high gear about Kenny Omega not outwardly saying that they're there, because obviously he can't and he won't, but the one word here, and I want you to pick up on it and let me know what you think, what he says here, and what the key word is here. Omega says, following Dave Meltzer talking about the big shows in Chicago and in New York, Omega says that he doesn't know what Tony Khan has planned for these shows because he is being very tight-lipped about everything. Omega said, honestly, at this point in time, he is the only one with an idea. He's tight-lipped, and I prefer it that way. I don't want anything to slip that shouldn't be slipping either. All I can speak on are the possibilities, end quote. That's Omega.
Kenny Omega is an EVP.
Well, I mean, he said all I can speak on are the possibilities. I mean, if it wasn't possible, then he wouldn't be throwing around the word possibilities,
Exactly. That came off as such bullshit. As soon as he started saying that he didn't know, only Tony knew.
Maybe they don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get that you're not, broadcasting it to the whole locker room, but Khan knows, Cody knows, and the Bucks know, and Kenny know. That may be it. Maybe it's a few more outside and upper management, but as far as talent goes, maybe that's it. But there's no way that only Tony Khan is sitting there making a decision on Bryan and Punk without talking to his top talent about bringing them in and ideas of bringing them. That was one of the things that Punk wanted. He wanted some ideas.
Yeah. So
how did Tony come up with these ideas to pitch to Punk without talking to the top fucking talents about them first?
No, you're right. That's 100% true.
So they know. Look, I get it. You have to say this shit. I mean, why people ask these questions like this? I don't know. I mean, you can ask the question in a different way. You know, let's say if you were to sign Phil Brooks, you know, where would he fit in a program like AEW right now? Without sitting there and saying, tell me if you sign Punk. You know, you can't ask them that. Okay, I'll tell you, yes, we signed Punk. You get the fucking exclusive clip, jerk off.
Well, listen, this is what the Young Bucks have to say about this. We got Omega, we got Tony Khan talking about it. This is what the Young Bucks have to say about it. They didn't really get interviewed by anybody, but they updated their Twitter bio. They said this, and I quote, "Are the rumors true? I don't know. We just hope that he'll take our finish well."
Yeah. These guys are assholes.
Oh, man. Gotta love it, man.
It's time to smile and rejoice, guys. There's no more letdown as far as we thought this was Punk and it wasn't. If this is not Punk, full-fledged Punk in the flesh, then I think people are going to turn the TV off on Wednesday nights, man.
Yeah, this is, it's happening. I'm pretty sure that Tony Khan is not going to let us down here. Now, we got potential plans for Bryan and Punk. This was reported by Cassidy Haynes of bodyslam.net. We're going to go over two stories that he broke this week, one being earlier in the week, last week, and then we got something that he broke this week as far as what's happening with the whole COVID pandemic thing and everybody freaking out about what's happening moving on into the later summer months and early into the fall. So let's talk about the plans for Bryan so far and CM Punk. AEW had to reformat plans, apparently, following the signings of both Bryan and Punk. So it happened in the same week, and Cassidy Haynes says this, and I quote, "They already had plans for Bryan to debut at Arthur Ashe on September 22nd. However, that was a couple of weeks ago. Dave Meltzer saying he's known since May. No." So he denied Meltzer knowing. "They had discussed it internally in May when his contract ran up, but they didn't start talks until about 2 or 3 weeks ago with Daniel Bryan. So that stuff didn't start happening until recently. Then the Punk stuff happened after Bryan, which Jesse and I talked about. Bryan was signed, and then that gave CM Punk the comfortable feeling to sign with AEW because if Bryan's going there, he knows it's the real deal, and he's not going to put his name on the line without that kind of confirmation there. So we talked about that last week, as of last week. Then the Punk stuff happened after Bryan, so they had plans in place for Bryan and Arthur Ashe. Then this Punk stuff happened, and it's kind of thrown a wrench into how they want to present everything. Now they have to reformat everything because of that, and it's because of how do you capitalize off this buzz, and what are you going to do exactly is what they're trying to figure out. So Bryan started to talk to them about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he was supposed to do Arthur Ashe, and as long as 2 days ago, that was the plan, says Cassidy Haynes, and they can always change the plans around. They can always change it up when he's going to debut, but it's happening. It's 100% that he's guaranteed to be in AEW. So we already have an inkling of a feeling that Punk may be on Rampage inside the United Center. They wouldn't be moving that show into the United Center if they didn't have a big deal. And then we have Bryan. I still believe Bryan's going to be at Arthur Ashe because that's just the perfect setting for Bryan to come on in. So I think Punk's plans have changed, Jesse. I don't think Bryan's have changed much, but I do think that Tony Khan is reformatting Punk plans, and Bryan's going to be the same.
Yeah, it makes sense, man, because bringing in talent like this, you just can't bring them in and just, okay, we'll stick you in with the floor plans that we had. It is kind of like a little bit of okay, we got to change some shit around. Yeah. You know, we got to do this debut right. You know, this needs to be in front of this crowd. This needs to be in front of this crowd. You know, you want to debut in the United Center? The United Center is where they played that music for the Bulls and everything else, and that's the same music that Punk was teasing.
Yep.
And it's the home of it right then and right there, man. And I mean, these are just things you just can't subliminally promise your fans and then say, "What? We never said that he was coming." I mean, we get it. We know he's here. He's coming. Yep. But watch this though. Remember, I'm not sure when it was. It was a few months back. There was a lot of talk about the Bucks and Cody not getting along behind the scenes.
Yep. And
some of the talk was that it was becoming a concern for top tier talent that wanted to come in, that the EVPs weren't getting along. Remember that?
Yep.
And now here we are a little bit later. So whenever that was, it seems, I don't know shit, but it seems that is when the talks really originated, because here we are right now.
That's also a possibility.
And people were saying, "Oh, they can't get along backstage." Somebody reported, I forget who it was, but somebody said there was a top free agent who was concerned about this beef and everything else.
Yeah, I don't remember who that was. Who reported that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It might have been one of Cornette's guys. To be honest with you, I think Meltzer reported it and said it came from one of Cornette's guys, one of Cornette's co-hosts.
That's now seeming very accurate. That here we are a little bit later, and we got these two huge free agents coming in.
Yeah, look at that.
And we've heard nothing about this beef between the Bucks and Cody lately either.
No. It's very interesting. Very interesting observation there. But we got this other piece of news about AEW right now. We're going to talk about how we would debut Punk and Bryan in a second, because Ticket Drew just texted me. He wants to come on and talk for about 5-10 minutes here. But, Jesse, AEW is extremely concerned about the COVID-19 restrictions disrupting events in Chicago, New York, and beyond. It was announced today that Las Vegas, the home of SummerSlam, has issued a indoor mask mandate. But Allegiant Stadium, I don't think it's an outdoor stadium. I think it's got somewhat of a retractable roof or something like that. Not completely outdoors, but it's somewhat outdoorsy. I don't know if the mandate's going to be in effect for WWE for SummerSlam. But as far as AEW is concerned, Cassidy Haynes, again, reported this during Monday Night Raw. While speaking to sources within, I was told that AEW is extremely concerned about the recent surge in COVID-19 cases, possibly disrupting events in Chicago, New York, St. Louis, and beyond. Over the last week, discussions have ramped up internally as COVID cases have begun to explode across the country. This has caused AEW to begin conversations about what to do if there was a shutdown, up to and including a potential prolonged return to Daly's place in Jacksonville once again. Additionally, I was told that this is an all-hands-on-deck type of situation currently. But ultimately, Tony has to make the decision about what is right for the talent, the staff, and especially the fans. With the CDC now recommending national mask guidelines, the concern is that it's only a matter of time before they recommend the banning of large gatherings. I was told right now, is their biggest concern the statuses of the Chicago and New York City shows, as both cities have been proactive in regards to preventive measures as an attempt to stop the recent surge of new cases. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot recently said that the number of Chicago daily cases reported could necessitate the reinstatement of city's mask mandates, as well as other potential restrictions. As for New York City, the city will now require its municipal workers to get vaccinated or they will face weekly COVID-19 tests. In St. Louis, the city and county have also reinstated an indoor mask mandate on Monday in an attempt to stop the spread of COVID-19. So internally, AEW is continuing with their existing plans, but they are paying very close attention and constant attention to what the local authorities in Chicago and in Cook County, as well as other parts of the country, are doing, as the company has potentially some of the biggest events in their history slated over the next few months. I know you texted me about this earlier in the day. I wish none of this was happening. I believe everybody here wishes none of this was happening, but this is the reality of the situation. I don't think anything's getting shut down. I don't think that it's going to throw a damper on the events that are happening in Chicago and in New York City. What I do think is that everybody in attendance is going to have to wear masks. But I told you, Jesse, if we have to wear masks for a 5-hour show to sit there and be a part of this history, it is a very small price to pay. So I don't think anything's getting shut down. Give me your thoughts on what you're thinking about what AEW is doing or what they could potentially do. All I know is I don't want them to go back to Jacksonville. That would be fucking horrendous in every sense of the word for this current plan that Tony Khan's got going on.
It will be. I mean, I think we're all in agreement. Nobody wants it to get shut down. Nobody wants to go back to Jackson. I mean, nobody wants it. I mean, but if it's trending the wrong direction and if it's coming, it's coming. I mean, I'm gonna be pissed. I went out and got fucking vaccinated and I still gotta wear a mask.
Yeah,
what the fuck, man? I mean, fucking hell. But I mean, I get it. I just don't want the show to get fucking canceled or severely fucking watered down. And I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. The last time we were sitting in this spot and we were just sitting there thinking, how bad is it really going to get? And they shut the whole fucking country down on us. We didn't see that shit coming.
Yep.
Not at all. Not at all. So I hope it doesn't get that bad. Or if it does get that bad, I hope it waits till after the fucking show, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with the CDC, they're changing their fucking guidelines by the hour anyway. So who the fuck knows what's going to happen come September 5th and for SummerSlam. But I mean, we don't have any news on it. I mean, we're following what we know from the government. So it is what it is. I don't want to have to be talking about this, but the reality of the situation is things are going to get worse, in my opinion. I don't think things are going to come to a standstill. I don't think they're going to be lockdowns. I don't think there's going to be, anything like that like we seen last year. I just think that the masks for everybody are going to be a thing. And, there's been rumors of booster shots or whatever the fuck they want to give everybody. So, they're going to get the ball rolling on that. I don't think anything's going to be shut down. That's just the general way I feel.
I hope not, man. I hope not.
But I mean, given the current situation, Tony Khan, the way he's been booking this show, he may actually outbook COVID. He may be the one to stop it all. The way he's running Dynamite lately, it's on fire. I don't know.
Can this guy? It seems like he can't do any wrong right now.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, he can't. He can't do anything.
I mean, clearly, Booker of the Year is a title. It was meant for him.
Yeah.
You know what I like about this guy? As much as he's over with the hardcore fans for everything he's doing for this company and the wrestling business, even with the announcement that we got last week that Tony Khan was going to give us an announcement about a new live event, he didn't come out.
No.
So he is not out in front of the fucking camera unless it's really fucking important.
No, I mean, he said that from the very beginning. He doesn't want to be an authority figure. He doesn't want to be on TV. It's not his show. It's not about him. It's about what happens in the ring and the performers he has on the roster. So if everybody that wants to shit on him, I mean, he's obviously kept his word on pretty much the majority of everything that they set out to do.
Yeah, now my wife is yelling at me in the fucking shit.
Why is she yelling at you? Why is she yelling at you?
It's the wrong reason for me to get vaccinated, just so to not wear a mask.
It's the wrong reasons for you to get vaccinated, not wear a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, but that was the promise from everybody. Get vaccinated and things will slowly get back to normal.
No, don't listen to her, man. She works at a hospital, so she knows everything. Whatever.
Hey, listen, man, you're gonna be spending a weekend with me in Chicago, so be good, okay?
Yeah.
Be good. Don't anger her, man. We don't want her. We don't want an angry wife at the Airbnb.
Hey, we'll just be fighting all through the Airbnb.
No, come on. I'll make sure I'll go buy some peanut butter whiskey. That'll calm everybody down.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're going to get into the show. I wanted to go over the Punk news with Jesse. It's been the hot topic of discussion as of late. I told Ticket Drew to call in, so he's going to hopefully get my text whenever and call in. We got him queued up here on my soundboard, so he's going to do that hopefully in the next 5 minutes or so. But I want to thank everybody for joining me. This has been the biggest weekend off the script probably all year. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. Hit that subscribe button, man. Make sure you guys do that. Hit that bell. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. If you guys want to follow Jesse, you see his @ on the screen right there as well. Go hit him up on Twitter. He is on there as well if you guys want to interact with him on a weekly basis as well. Make sure you guys go and check out all the other content on the channel. We got a bunch of shit on the homepage. Monday Night Raw from Monday. We got NXT last night, Off the Script 384. Make sure you guys go and check all that stuff out. If you guys want to support the podcast, a couple of ways to do that. Patreon.com/JDfromNY206. Go get your t-shirts. Summer Scam is on fire right now on Bonfire. Summer Scam t-shirts on bonfire.com. Link is down in the description below. And today's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Dr. Squatch, drsquatch.com. You guys can use code SCRIPT at checkout to save 20% off, man. They got everything for your hygiene needs. Shampoo, conditioner, soap, deodorant, you name it, man. They got it covered. I got my entire bathroom cabinet littered with Dr. Squatch, man. It's the only thing I use on a daily basis. Don't be a smelly wrestling geek who doesn't know any better. Use Dr. Squatch and wipe away those stereotypes, man. drsquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. Ticket Drew is still on his show. He'll call in 5 minutes, so we might as well get into the top of Dynamite, which was this 10-man tag, the Elites versus the Dark Order with Adam Hangman Page. We saw a video package airing on Hangman and the Dark Order with a theme that was very cowboy-esque in the background. They went to the introductions, Jesse, and the Elite came out as if they were the starting lineups for a NBA World Championship team. And they were all wearing jerseys and basketball shorts. And Don Callis was in old school Larry Bird-like basketball shorts, bro. Never again do I want to see that. But it was hilarious.
Gucci cutters.
Yeah.
Love them.
He looked hilarious and ridiculous at the same time. But they came out, the Bucks Omega, they were bouncing basketballs on the stage. They dunked basketballs in a hoop set up at ringside. And this was something that I was looking forward to most on the show, besides the main event match with Nick Gage and Chris Jericho. Jesse, there was a wrench thrown into the Adam Page plans here, and the Dark Order loses this 10-man tag team match, elimination match, and he's no longer the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. Omega was the one to do it in to Page. He was the last one remaining. It was him and Johnny Hungy for the Dark Order. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson and what's his name? I'm forgetting. I'm drawing a blank now. The other guy in the Dark Order. Who else was on the team? I'm drawing a blank. Alex Reynolds. There you go.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I got fucking WWE on the mind over here. I'm drawing a blank. I'm going Monday Night Raw on you guys. We got Johnny Hungy and Hangman, the last two here. And man, oh man, if I'm going out on a limb, was Johnny Hungy the MVP of this match?
He was. I mean, he's just over with the crowd, you know. But he's not really taken seriously though.
No.
You know, that's the thing about it. I mean, he's over and everything else, but I don't even think he's really taken seriously to be in a tag team title picture.
Yeah.
I mean, but the guy's over. He's over as fuck. I love him. Look, he's fucking hilarious. I love him. And like I texted you before, the Dark Order and like this entrance tonight. I mean, this is my kind of wrestling comedy. You know, not Nikki ass clown in a fucking Batman suit with a butterfly title.
Oh, you mean
that's not?
You mean Nikki Trash?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not comedy. That's just embarrassment, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, this is comedy. So when people say, "Oh, you just don't like any comedy at all," I do like wrestling comedy. This is the type of wrestling comedy that I like.
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, and it also plays up the fact that they're fucking pricks and they're heels, and you know what they are. So they're doing what they can to make you look at them the way that a lot of people are looking at them, and it's a great thing to see because you don't really see it. So we got Reynolds. Carl Anderson rolled up Reynolds with a handful of tights. He was the first one eliminated. We got Evil Uno. He eliminated Anderson quickly after that series of moves there on Carl Anderson, and Evil Uno eliminated him. Then we go to eliminations 3 and 4. Grayson and Gallows, they were double counted out. And Jesse, there was a spot on the outside with this elimination where Stu Grayson, my God, man, Stu Grayson fucking great. Him and Evil Uno, man, I love them as a tag team. I really do. Stu Grayson did a springboard twisting plancha off the top rope onto everybody that was on the outside. And my God, man, he landed fucking splat on the steel ramp, right at the edge of the ramp and the ringside area. Holy shit. I don't know how he got up after that. He was visibly limping. Johnny Hungy went over and checked on him because he realized that he just splat on the steel. That was fucking nasty. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean the flat back was bad within itself, but his head dribbled off that fucking steel, man.
Yeah.
It bounced, I mean, a pretty good distance. I mean, hard off that steel.
Yep.
I mean, if that guy's not concussed, I will be completely shocked. And you can see he had a hard time getting his bearings when he was climbing that rail, you know, over in the crowd. He almost I mean, he can. I mean, the guy was not all there.
Yeah, well, I mean, he tweeted out that he was fine, so that's good. And he wasn't even done after this. He actually went into the crowd with Gallows and jumped off of a fucking barricade in the crowd and did a double axe handle down to the floor on Gallows, and then they ended up getting counted out. So, I mean, clearly this guy was he was crazy in his spots here, but he said online he didn't have enough time to make it back into the ring, so he ended up being okay, is what he said.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hope it's legit. I hope he's all right, because that was a nasty bump on the back of his head, man.
Yeah.
And that's what Johnny saw. That's why they all went running over there to him. Like, are you fucking okay, man?
Yeah, I know. It looked bad in the slow motion replay. But then we got, after that, Evil Uno was eliminated by a one-winged angel and a V-trigger, and then a one-winged angel by Kenny Omega. So Uno was eliminated by Omega. And then we got number 6. Silver was, the Bucks landed a super BTE trigger on Silver for the pin, so he was eliminated. It came down to Omega and the Bucks versus Hangman. Jesse, we were in a 3-on-1 situation here, and we got a loud cowboy shit chant breaking out in Charlotte, North Carolina. Omega tagged in, and they took their time. They went head-to-head with this. They met face-to-face. They talked trash. Omega spit on Hangman visibly. Hangman punched him. They went back and forth. Omega hit Page with a V-trigger. Hangman came back. Bucks interfered with stereo super kicks. They landed a triple super kick for a very close near fall on Page. Crowd was popping big for all the kickouts. Matt and Omega held Page, bridged over the middle rope, and Nick landed a 450 splash for another close near fall. Hangman made a comeback against Omega. The Bucks interfered again, which was the common theme here, but he took them down with a double arm clothesline. Page climbed to the top rope, moonsaulted onto all 3 guys who were standing on the outside. Nice moonsault there by Page. Excellent. Page and Omega were back at it again in the middle of the ring, and Hangman landed a big power bomb for a near fall. Nick broke up the cover there. Matt tagged in, set up a tombstone pile driver. They were going for the Indie Taker. Hangman escaped and then landed a double buckshot lariat on Matt and Nick, and Matt was the one who was legal, so they pinned him. So Matt is eliminated. Now it's down to Nick and Kenny Omega. So Omega tried to use one belt against Hangman. I believe he tried to use one half of the tag team championships. Referee Rick Knox took this. So with Rick Knox back turned, Omega was handed the AEW championship. He tried to use that. Hangman duck, landed a deadeye on Omega. I thought it was it, Jesse. I don't know how you felt during that near fall. I thought they were going to pin Omega in that situation there.
I did. I thought that was it there.
Yeah, I thought that was it as well. Page set up for the buckshot lariat. Nick then he scolded the referee. Omega hit Page with the title belt and got a believable near fall out of that. Crowd popped big for that one. Omega tackled the ref and he was complaining. How could you? It was a 3. It was a slow count because he cheated to win and it didn't work in his favor. So Omega then hit 2 V-triggers and a one-winged angel. And after the one-winged angel, I mean, that's it. So Omega pins Page and he is no longer the number 1 contender. And Omega and Nick survive for the Elite in 25 minutes. Really great 10-man tag, old school Survivor Series rules. And it was a well-booked match that, Jesse, makes Page still look strong even in defeat, because obviously we got tape of him being fucked over here. Now, what happens with the AEW Championship match? We got 4 weeks to go before all out. Are we going to get Omega and Page still? Is something going to come of this because of the fuck finish? Or are we really going to go in a different direction? And is Omega going to have Page somewhere later in the year and not at all out?
Yeah, I think they're going in a completely different direction. And I'll explain why. If they were going to do this match, they did not have to have Hangman take the pin in the match, and B, take it from Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
So without having Hangman lose any credibility as far as going for another title shot, he still kind of got beat by Kenny. So, but when they're ready to revisit it, it's not going to be, well, I already beat him for the title twice. No, he only beat him once. So he never got the other title match. So it kind of protects Hangman in the sense that, hey, we're gonna revisit this, and you're not gonna lose any ground because the loss that you took was in a 10-man tag. It was not in a title match.
So what do we do for Omega at All Out? Are we looking at an Omega and Jay White match on an AEW pay-per-view?
Well, let me tell you something. With all of the fucking talk of the Forbidden Door opening and closing, with all the talk of Daniel Bryan coming in, all of the talk of CM Punk coming in, Kenny Omega has no shortage of opponents, and I have no idea where they're gonna go with this right now. None.
Me neither.
It's not The thing is, they're scrapping Hangman versus Omega, which was an anticipated match. They're scrapping it because clearly they have something a little bit more juicier right now. So, I don't know. I can't wait to find out. But who fucking knows, man? Who knows?
I mean, nobody's
talking about Bryan's first opponent.
I mean, well, Bryan's going to be. I mean, Bryan's plan is still, as of today, like we just went over, is New York City.
New York City.
So
that's before All Out.
That's after All Out.
It's after. You think Bryan's not going to show up till after All Out? I don't think so, man.
You're going to do Omega. You think that Kenny Omega and Daniel Bryan could potentially be a All Out main event?
Potentially. I say potentially because it could be there. Now, like this. Okay, so they booked the United Center and put Rampage in it, and it appears by all accounts that it looks like they're gonna be putting Punk somewhere in that show. Maybe because holding him out for another couple of weeks will be stretching it. I mean, look, everybody knows they have him. You know, maybe they want to just get the ball rolling. So if they're getting the ball rolling on Punk, what are they doing with Bryan? They're gonna make him wait till after All Out to pop? I don't know, man. I don't think so.
Well, you don't want to blow all your bullets in the first fucking couple of seconds. I mean, why debut them the same time or in the same week when you could wait on one, just having him show up on potentially their biggest crowd of the year? You know,
right, well,
the second biggest crowd of the year.
I mean, you have them. They're locked and loaded and signed and delivered. You have them. You know, do we drop them both in the same night? No. But clearly they're re-scrapping title matches. They're moving feuds around. They want to get these guys acclimated. You got to get them into the storyline somewhere. You got to start building them up somewhere. They've already started with Punk. They've already started Punk's first feud.
What about Omega versus Kazuchika Okada in Chicago?
Don't tease me, man.
Omega versus Okada on American soil in Chicago for the AEW title.
Tear the house down. They can put on an hour-long classic and we'll eat it up, man.
But what about Jay White? I mean, Jay White is a legit option at this point. Like I told you last week, I don't see Jay White coming in doing fucking Impact. I mean, he's obviously dwarfed the AEW champion on their pay-per-view. So, I mean, if you're staring down the AEW champion, I would assume you have business to take care of on Dynamite.
Jay White could definitely be a main event of All Out as well. I don't know how they get him into the title picture though, but I mean, I don't know. I would say entertain me, but if Bryan too, I mean, I don't know how they get these guys to a title match jumping over the ranking system that they have.
All right, well, if you do Bryan, if potentially, I'm not saying that this is the case. I mean, you're just throwing it out there in the open. If potentially it happens to be Bryan Omega, does Bryan win the world championship? What about Page? We just talked about this. You know, it's got to be Page. It's got to be Page. I don't think there's anybody in between, you know, Omega and Page that's going to make sense. It's either Page or bust.
Yeah. They've got more options now, man. They've got more options. And the sooner they debut Bryan, the sooner they can get him some W's and move him up the rankings and make some sense out of putting him in the ring with Kenny Omega. Same for Jay White.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't pop up at the pay-per-view and say, here's your title match. That's some WWE type shit. That's some Goldberg type shit.
Well, listen, that was my next thing. Well, how about this one? How about Omega versus Bill Goldberg in Chicago?
Oh, that's perfect, man.
Yeah, I mean that's. You want to talk about a forbidden door, right?
As long as Omega knows how to take the jackhammer and the spear, we'll be all right. Man.
I mean, how long you think Goldberg's cardio is going to be in a match against Omega?
Can Omega hang with Goldberg? You think about that?
I don't think so, man. I really don't.
Just think about that, man. Who's the legend? Come on now.
Now listen, man. I can't wait for the go home show where Goldberg shows up and yells at Kenny Omega, "You're next." I mean, that's That's epic booking right there, man. I don't know if I could come up with something like that on my own.
Man,
I'm getting everybody jealous because I'm such a genius here.
It's fun making fun of these guys, but man, I'm legit so fucking excited about
Carl Mark in the chat says that's the forbidden back door.
The forbidden door. Man, what the fuck, dude? The forbidden trash can is what WWE has. So
yeah, and it's on fucking fire, and nobody's able to put it out.
The forbidden cemetery.
Listen, what about this? What about this one, bro? Listen, I'm on a roll. What about this one? What about Kenny Omega versus Braun Strowman? How about that one? See the Strowman Express coming into Ticket Drew's calling. Hold on. Let me see. Is he here? Let me see. Ticket Drew, are you here?
I'm here.
There you are. What's going on, man?
Literally, I just get off the air on the SNE network, and what was the first thing I want to do is jump on here.
Yeah, listen, man.
I mean,
welcome.
You called at the right time, man. Jesse and I are going back and forth on what to do with Omega after this loss of the number one contendership tonight. Who does Omega wrestle at All Out? Is it Page? Is it Bryan? Is it Okada? Is it Jay White? Talk to me.
I don't know. I think it could still be Page. I think people really want to see Page win the championship. I mean, look at the reactions he's been getting on Dynamite every week, week after week. He's definitely over. People love that cowboy shit. So I think Page is definitely an option, and I think it's a viable one. I don't know if we're going to see Daniel Bryan. I mean, he could save us, I guess, from the whole Kenny Omega reign. That, people who don't respect or want Kenny Omega as their world champion, that could happen. I just don't think that's a way to debut Bryan Danielson, because you got to put the championship on him, right?
Yeah, that's what I just said. And then Jesse here, I know Drew gets it here. Jesse said that he would debut. You got these guys locked and loaded, get them on TV immediately. You would wait to hold Bryan off for New York City, right?
I think that's a smart option, yes. I 100% think that New York City is a good option, because I think CM Punk is going to overshadow everything and anybody that is going to come in from AEW if he's going to make his debut at that United Center show for Rampage.
Well, we talked about it earlier before you called in. Jesse is in agreement with what you said earlier with us on the Twitter Spaces, where Punk, with the debut of Rampage happening, and then the week after they're going into the United Center, and then Darby Allin cut that promo that went fucking viral on social media tonight. Everybody's going crazy over the words that he used in that promo. Punk debuting on Rampage on that show, SummerSlam weekend, that Friday. Is that the right place to do Punk, or do you wait to do it in Chicago at All Out?
No, it's massive. You have to do that, in my opinion. You have to. I just had a heated debate on the SNE network with myself and Blake Mitchmore. So, I mean, they're WWE guys, it seems, and I'm just a professional wrestling guy. Like, I like professional wrestling and sports entertainment. You have to have a big draw, a big name. You have to have something big or someone big on these Rampage shows, because as much as you guys like professional wrestling, and I get it, AEW this is a business. Yep. They need to sell to their advertisers. If Rampage draws 200,000 people, it's going to be viewed as a laughingstock, a failure.
Yeah.
So that first show is going to have to come out of the gate strong, and then what a big jump you'll see if CM Punk is going to make his debut at the United Center on August 20th, the first dance, and you will literally see the impact that CM Punk has for the AEW brand, because let's just say they do 200,000 on the debut episode, which I don't think will happen. And then you see CM Punk and they do 500,000. That is a 300,000 jump just by CM Punk.
Yeah. And it looks like all the rumors of Punk doing the Alan Parsons Project thing on Instagram with his stories. I mean, everybody thought he was trolling, but it looks more and more like he was actually speaking in truth with what he's got going on for himself and where he's going to be showing up.
Now,
and that's the thing. Go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Rampage at the United Center is not the first Rampage, it's the second, correct?
Yes.
Correct, yep.
So why is it the fucking first dance?
Because it's CM Punk's first dance with AEW.
Exactly. So Punk, dude, if Tony Khan would have come out and said, I guarantee you Punk will be at Rampage in Chicago, I would have the exact same feelings right now that I feel after hearing that fucking Darby Allin promo. it would be
What
no
was your
different.
feeling?
So he basically, with that promo, he basically came out and promised us CM Punk.
But they could obviously. I mean, listen, this is a business. It's a wrestling business. They could promise you one thing, and then everything's subject to change. This could be a giant troll job. I mean,
That's WWE talk coming right now.
Sure, but I mean, you got to remember that. I mean, it would seem that CM Punk is all signed, sealed, and delivered for that. I mean, this would be the chip that Tony Khan plays, right? Hey, listen, what do you want? I want to debut in Chicago at the United Center. Can you make that happen? Yeah, I can see what I can do. He books the building where he's probably going to lose a little bit of money on, because you can't charge extraordinary ticket prices for a 10 o'clock show on a Friday night, can you?
With CM Punk in attendance, I mean,
the dark matches.
Punk's not going to be advertised. Do you think CM Punk is going to be advertised for this show?
No.
The smart fans will plan on him being there, but not the general public. No.
This is AEW's true test of how big of a draw CM Punk will be, and then leading into that Dynamite on August 25th, you'll see a huge ratings jump, in my opinion, as well. I have watched wrestling since I was a little kid. I don't I don't fly the WWE flag in my house. I don't fly an AEW flag in my house. I just like watching entertaining shit. And at the end of the day, CM Punk is entertaining shit, and he's going to be a ratings boost. All these idiots on Twitter or anywhere else that's saying that he won't be, it just doesn't understand professional wrestling, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I think after tonight, I mean, everybody that says CM Punk and Daniel Bryan aren't showing up, I mean, I don't think they have any more room to talk. I mean, it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was telling JD earlier, after the build and the reveal of that Christian Cage debut, I think that Tony Khan is treading lightly and picking his words very wisely and doing everything very carefully in regards to insinuating things about Punk and Bryan. Now, putting on an impromptu Chicago show at the United Center called The First Dance, when Darby Allin says he's going to be there and he wants to see anybody there that thinks they're the best in the world. If Punk is not there, you just lost a lot of fucking fans.
I don't know about that, because Bryan Danielson also refers himself as the best in the world. He did in Ring of Honor. Just saying.
Well, if they want to swap out Punk for Bryan, debuting in Chicago makes no sense, but we won't be unhappy about it.
I agree. I think I've just been, jaded with professional wrestling, where I don't believe anything until I see it.
I wonder why
it's
that
one of those things. I mean, I get why someone would say, well, they didn't announce it. You don't know. I get it. But this wrestling fan 101 has taught us that Tony Khan has basically promised us Punk at Rampage.
I think that, again, I think you brought up Christian Cage. Christian Cage is undefeated in AEW. I think that's flying under the radar, because I think that might be something that they play up with Miro, maybe. Maybe it's Christian Cage and Miro at All Out for the TNT title. Now, I don't think Christian Cage should beat Miro, but I think that they're going to play up on that.
I think Christian Cage is up shit's creek, because bringing in Malachi Black, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk, no disrespect to Christian Cage, but who gives a fuck about him right now?
Yeah, it's a true statement. I mean, the Christian Cage since his debut really hasn't done much to catch anybody's eyeballs on his product, nor AEW. I mean,
yeah,
I would tend to agree.
Yeah, I mean, they'll find something to do with him. He can float around the mid card. They can keep him strong. But if you try to, squeeze him into a match with Kenny Omega because he's 6-0, right now, when we have Punk, we have Bryan, people want Hangman, we have Malachi, there's no room for Christian Cage at this current moment right now. He's going to have to wait a little bit. Are you guys panicked about Cody beating Malachi Black?
Oh, Jesse is. I'm pretty confident that Black's going to fucking kick his face in.
Oh, yeah. He's well, I mean, we're dealing with Cody here, man. Cody just might go over clean.
God, I hope not. I just don't understand why people don't think that CM Punk is a draw in 2021. I really don't get it.
Bro, they're gonna sell out the United Center based off one fucking sentence that Darby Allin spoke tonight, because CM Punk was potentially teased. They're gonna sell out 20,000 seats because of that one promo.
They will.
I know, and it just seems like everyone's like, you could really tell who flies the WWE banner and who doesn't, because everybody is just, oh, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. It's never going to, it doesn't matter. But if you ask them, a month ago, hey, what happened to CM Punk came to WWE? Oh my God, what a move that would be. It's like, you got to have the same opinion here. It's got to go both ways. This is a big get. If this is what's happening, this is a ginormous get.
I just said that to JD early in this show, and everybody talking, including WWE themselves. So Vince talking shit about Punk. All this stuff that he's saying, if Punk would have came to him and wanted to sign there, Punk wouldn't be unstable. Punk would be perfectly fine. Punk would be great for the business. But now that he's not there, Punk can't be trusted all of a sudden, and all the other shit that he said about it. I mean, and same with the fans too. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, and I'll say it every week. You have your loyalists out there who are gonna wave the WWE flag and drink the Kool-Aid. I don't care what happens. It does not matter. I don't care if Tony Khan wins the ratings for 4 years straight. I don't care if they have the best wrestling program in the world. You'll still have those very same people screaming how no, they don't. WWE's better. It's just going to happen. You're not going to change. Not only are you not going to change everyone's minds, you're not going to change a large group of loyal followers' minds. You're just not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and also I don't, I could see some of this chat going on here. Maybe people are hard of hearing, but I did say a million times that CM Punk is a draw. He's a big draw.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody's saying that you said that.
I think CM Punk puts AEW at 1.5 million weekly if they book him right.
I do. Absolutely.
Yeah, he did. So you did say Punk is a draw. The chat is still upset that you were putting Charlotte over last week. They're not very happy with that, man.
Yeah, that's all they remember. That's all they remember from last week. That's all right. That put Charlotte over.
Yeah, that's all right. Listen,
you pissed off our chat, man. They were mad as hell.
You got Juventud Guerrera being the third stage for MJF. Oh my. I mean, I don't hate it. It's good to see Hoobie back, but don't forget AEW is going to be in Pittsburgh soon. I mean, I don't know if Kurt Angle is going to show up, but maybe MJF pulls the Kurt Angle out of his sleeve. Who knows?
Well, that would be something. I'm sure that'll fucking trigger all the WWE shills out there.
Yeah, Pittsburgh should be, that should be Britt Baker's show. Yeah. So I couldn't see them bringing in a Kurt Angle to overshadow her homecoming like that.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Britt Baker's hurt, and they should be smart to keep her not wrestling until All Out.
Yeah, but you can bet anything you get, man. She'll be at Pittsburgh though. But she'll not wrestling, but she'll be out in front of that crowd for sure.
What's the vibe, JD and Jesse? What are your fans and your listeners, or JD calls them your goons? Are they all excited for this CM Punk stuff? Because I mean, you have to be. This is one of the best times to be a professional wrestling / sports entertainment fan.
This is something that I talked about this with Jesse before you called. Last week was probably bigger than WrestleMania week for me on the channel. Everything,
I would agree.
Everything as far as views and retention and subs and all that stuff, everything was up more so than it has been for any WWE show in the last 3 years. But as far as everybody's excitement, I think everybody's excited here. You feel the win. I've been saying the winds of change are happening, and it's happening because of Tony Khan and what he's doing to bring in Punk and Bryan in the same week, signing them in the same week. You feel it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, what a time to be a wrestling fan. And for anybody, again, who's on social media and they're like, this isn't going to do anything, who cares? These are the same people that were crying that Daniel Bryan didn't win the world championship at WrestleMania 37. I mean, it's asinine. I have been wanting CM Punk back in wrestling since he left. I've wanted Daniel Bryan to continue his career since he had to retire, and then he came back and it was great. I mean, but it's asinine to think that these two guys aren't going to make a huge difference in the wrestling world.
Of course they will.
When Moxley left, when Ambrose left WWE, the loyalists started calling him, a traitor, and he was the worst member of the Shield. He was this, he was that. They started talking all this shit about the guy, and all he did was fulfill his obligation to WWE and decide to go to another company. Same thing with Daniel Bryan. All he did was fulfill his obligation with WWE and opt to go to another company. These people start feeling like they're not allowed to do that. They have to stay signed in WWE or we now hate you.
Yeah,
even though you're not happy, we don't care about that. We just want you to stay here in WWE and be unhappy.
Yeah, it's strange. I just don't. I don't understand it. You guys don't have to pick a company to love or hate. If you don't want to watch something, turn the goddamn channel.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I referred this to something like an NFL game. So if you're watching your favorite team, whatever your favorite team is, insert favorite team here, and you watch them on Sunday. That doesn't mean you're not gonna want to watch two other teams play on Monday night.
Exactly right.
A fucking fantastic fucking game. I'm not watching that. It's not my favorite team. You're supposed to be a fan of football. Watch the awesome football game, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, your Michael Vick jersey, I'll give you props for wearing that tonight. Good for you. Take the ball to wear Michael Vick shirt and Michael Vick jersey. But anyway, I do think that analogy is right when you're talking. I don't want to make this a football chat, but Tom Brady ruined my life as a Jet fan for years. And then I respected him, and I want to watch all of his games. But and that's the thing. I want to watch every AEW show that they put out. If it's good, if it's trash, I'm going to turn it off, just like WWE. Now, I happen to cover this stuff for a living, just like these two gentlemen, so I have to watch majority of professional wrestling. But I said it on my Monday Night Raw review. Raw sucked. Dynamite didn't.
Oh, wait.
Get over it.
If you're going to turn off WWE when it's trash, when was the last time you watched a WWE show?
Oh, I have to watch WWE, and at times I don't. Listen. It's a different form of entertainment. It's not AEW. AEW and WWE are two separate companies. WWE is a content company. AEW is a wrestling company.
Yeah, I like how WWE goes above and beyond to make sure that they say that they're not a wrestling. I think Nick Khan actually said that very recently, that WWE was not a wrestling company. And what does the second W in WWE stand for again?
What is the second?
Entertainment.
The second W in WWE.
Oh, wrestling. I thought you said what did the E stand for?
No, second W, but they're not a wrestling company.
World's worst entertainment. What does it mean?
That's like Pizza Hut saying we're not a pizza company. We don't fucking sell pizza at Pizza Hut, bro.
Yeah, they haven't been a wrestling company in a long time, though, fellas.
Bro, if you think Pizza Hut is pizza, I don't know what to tell you.
Bro,
I was gonna let that one slide, but I'm gonna let that one slide.
Stay on fucking track.
Come on,
That's why I didn't mention a particular football team, because I didn't want you to run off. That's not a real football team. Oh, that's not the point, all right?
Anyway, we're getting off track here. Drew, before I let you go, how would you book this Hangman situation going in with Omega at All Out? Obviously, it was a fuck finish tonight. Clearly, Omega cheated. How would you get him in that main event at All Out? Because I just don't see anything else making sense as far as what they've been doing on TV.
So here's what I'll say. Jesse's pizza choice sucks. No, I think what you need to do here is go to Hangman Page basically blaming the Dark Order, that it was them who cost him. And he's not going to be a bad guy, but he's just going to say, I need to do this on my own. And I think what they should do is have Hangman Page kind of run a gauntlet, not like what Jericho and MJF are doing, but he needs to beat the Good Brothers, and he needs to beat, I would throw, one of the Young Bucks, or maybe you get the Young Bucks and you get one of the Good Brothers. Let's just say Carl Anderson. And this is how you debut Rampage. Hangman Page is going to run the gauntlet. If he can get through these three and Kenny Omega and have the Kenny Omega match debut on Rampage, then you get your shot at All Out. So you have Dynamite where Hangman Page beats three of the Elite members, whomever you want to name, pick three, and then the fourth and final member, like getting to the the final boss or whatever, is going to be Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page at Rampage. If Omega can finally beat Kenny Omega one-on-one, then he gets his shot at All Out. And if they don't go that route, and Hangman Page does not get a title shot, then all bets are off on who's getting that title shot at All Out.
So you want him to run a gauntlet like Kofi Kingston ran a gauntlet, but in the end he beats Omega?
By hook or crook, I think he has to beat Omega. I don't know how you get here now, JD, and I think that's a good thing with AEW. I really do. Where it's not predictable, because everybody and their mother was predicting Hangman Page and the Dark Order to win this tonight, and they didn't. So they've given you a swerve. Now, how do you get back to Hangman Page and Kenny Omega? Right now, I don't know. I really don't know.
I think they're doing a pivot here. I was telling JD earlier. I think that's why we got Hangman taking the pin from Kenny to kind of put a pin in this feud right now. And they can't come back and say, well, Hangman didn't take the pin, or Kenny didn't get the pin. No, Kenny pinned Hangman, but he didn't beat him for the title. So what does that mean? That means the next time they do get a chance to revisit this feud, Hangman is not coming in 0-2 for the AEW title because he only had one.
They had that chance, though. They had that chance to where Kenny Omega didn't have to eat a pinfall loss, could have been disqualified, could have never made the 10 count. Anything. They didn't do that tonight. So now I think they're going to have to put emphasis on Page getting some sort of redemption to get that title shot. Maybe it's everybody but Omega. Maybe they do exactly what I'm saying besides Omega, and Omega's the final guy at All Out. But I do think if you're getting Page and Omega at All Out, I think Page wins. So for all you Omega marks that are in there like, oh, he can't lose. I'm telling you right now, they have that match in Chicago, and Hangman Page is in the world title match. He's going to lose. Kenny Omega is going to lose. So
a gauntlet match with the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks then.
Yeah, and you can stretch it out. I mean, they have to. If this is the route they're going to go, they have to get there somewhere. I can't see Bryan Danielson debuting and immediately getting into a match with Omega because then he is going to have to win. The same thing goes with CM Punk. Let CM Punk take on Darby Allin. That works for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I said that a few weeks ago that if they do this match with Hangman and Kenny, Hangman is the new AEW champion. You can't have him lose it again.
No.
So, but to me, it just feels like they're going to shift some things. They have some different plans for the title, bringing in Punk and Bryan, and their way of getting out of this planned match with Hangman without Hangman taking another championship loss was this 10-man tag.
I just don't think that CM Punk and Bryan Danielson are coming in to be in the main event with Kenny Omega for the world title in the first match.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, let me rephrase. Maybe it's not to say that Punk or Bryan is going to be in the main event picture, but again, you're talking about so many moving parts and so many different feuds and things like that. Maybe it was just one of those things where we got to shift this. That means we got to move this. And maybe Punk and Bryan will have nothing to do with the title. Maybe he will open the forbidden door for his all-out opponent. Maybe they had other plans for Hangman bringing in Punk and Bryan before they get into a title situation. There could be a few different moving parts when it comes to people like Hangman, Omega, Punk, Bryan, and other top-tier talent.
Let me ask you two a question before I get out of here. CM Punk is going to overshadow anything that's going on at All Out match-wise, especially if he's taking on Darby. So do you think that they need to have Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page at All Out and Page winning? Because if they don't have that match at All Out and CM Punk is on the card against Darby Allin, that's all anybody's going to be talking about.
I don't know. Yes and no. I mean, an Adam Page victory over Kenny Omega is going to be a big deal. It's not going to be bigger than CM Punk, but it's not going to be, nobody's talking about Page in the end.
It'd be like icing on the cake of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, pretty much.
The cake was awesome.
Mario
in the
Martinez
middle and
wants me
everything
to
else with
acknowledge
Punk,
you.
but at the ending, Hangman wins the feel-good moment,
Mario Martinez says, Drew, you're a marked man, amigo. I challenge you to a round of fisticuffs at All Out. Yeah, good luck with that, bro.
Any man that says fisticuffs, I have no problem. I have no problem meeting you at All Out anytime, any place, anywhere. And then after that, you'll buy me every goddamn shot of tequila I want while you're picking your teeth out of a glass.
There you go. Drew, thank you for coming on, bro. I'll talk to you when I talk to you, and tell people where they can find you.
Look at you, 2,500 tonight. Look at you. Love to see it. You can follow me. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, it's better than Monday Night Raw.
Well, of course. I mean, this is your stuff. AEW, this is you. Yep. This is you in a nutshell. You can follow me at Andrew Badalla. Just go check out the S&E Network. And don't forget, we do these Twitter spaces, myself and JD, before Dynamite. You get to ask JD a question. You get to call me a WWE shill if you want, or a Charlotte Flair bot, or whatever the hell your chat's saying. Anytime, any place, anywhere, Mario Martinez. You guys have a good night. Jesse, always good to talk to you, my man, JD. Much love.
You too, bro. Hey, Drew, you coming to Chicago for Rampage, man?
I texted a couple people. I don't think that's going to happen.
Don't worry.
All Out.
Well, yeah, he'll be at All Out. Yeah, we're gonna get drinks. So we're gonna find something.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Mario Martinez, I'll see you at All Out. You punk bitch.
I'll talk to you later, Drew. Thanks, man.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. Why are you guys starting shit in the chat, man? Come on.
What a show.
Get my friends on the show. You want to fucking throw fisticuffs? Come on, bro.
Fisticuffs. Who are you, fucking Jim Ross? What the fuck is this? Was it a slobber knocker too?
Thank you guys for hanging. We're actually growing in viewers, man. We got over 2,500 now. Thank you guys so much for joining. Super chats are open. Get them on in. Jesse's going to be hanging out with us at the end of the show. We're going to be doing the thing, cold beverages, you name it, man. And make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. There's 2,500 people. There should be no reason why we're not at least 1,200 likes. Give me at least half. So hit that thumbs up, guys. Jesse, moving on from all the Paige and Punk and Bryan and all this stuff, man. Taz introduced Ricky Starks. We had a little celebration as he's the new FTW champion. We got a New Orleans-inspired band playing with him at ringside. He came down to the ring, and Starks says Powerhouse Hobbs is out recruiting to replace Brian Cage and Team Taz. Said last week they got rid of some garbage known as Cage. Says he's been the glue and anchor of this group since the start because he knew his part. Said Cage wasted time trying to befriend everyone online and costing him matches left and right, and he could forgive all that. He said what he couldn't forgive is that when he broke his neck, he didn't check in with him. He said he realized he was a selfish guy. He didn't want to be around anymore. He said he showed he didn't know the meaning of teamwork. He said he also knows what it's like to be a star, something Cage hasn't figured out in 17 years. Cage walked down to the ring. He clotheslined one of the trombone players, or the trumpet players, I believe it was, and then he took one of the bass drum players and picked up the bass drum and smashed it over his head. He bashed a couple other guys on the way to the ring. He brought the trombone into the ring and broke it over his knee. And Jim Ross said this, and I quote, "There's no place for trombones in professional wrestling." And Ricky Starks fled the ring, and Cage threw down whatever he had left in the ring. Starks, Jesse, great on the microphone, obnoxious, very heelish here. And it looks like we may be getting another match with these two, possibly at All Out. So I know we've said that we haven't been interested in what these guys got going on, but I think this is a showcase for Ricky Starks to really be the face of Team Taz. I don't think he really belongs in Team Taz, but if he takes more of a leadership role and they give him more of the reins to speak like this, I think it's going to be a great thing for when he eventually breaks out on his own.
Yeah, it is. And a couple of things about Ricky Starks. First off, his promo work is, I mean, he's approaching MJF levels, man.
Yeah, he was good.
He's really good. But that kind of brings me to our next point with him, because if I'm using Ricky Starks the way they're using him right now, I'm gonna have him take more of a leadership role in Team Taz, and feud with Brian Cage. Dude, Brian Cage is a babyface right now. Is shit in the bed. They got to figure out something that's not working.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I mean, he is physically impressive. And I don't know what they need to do for Brian Cage. I mean, when he was in Lucha Underground, bro, I mean, obviously it's much different in front of 400 fucking people in some rundown warehouse in the fucking shithole of Los Angeles. But, I mean, he's got 7,000 people tonight, and it almost came off as nobody really cared about Brian Cage interrupting Ricky Starks.
Yeah, because they didn't, and I get it. But so where they're going with Ricky Starks, it feels like at the end of this, I'm gonna have him turn on Taz because he's gonna want to be more of the leader of the group and try to phase out Taz and make it Team Ricky and everything else, and that'll be a feud and everything else. But the thing is, it's starting to feel like they're using almost the same formula for MJF. You know, it feels like they're booking two guys the exact same way in parallel universes. You know, I mean, the way that Ricky Starks is going right now is pretty much, there's not too much of a difference between him and MJF.
Well, I mean, look at their age. I mean, they're pretty much the same age, and look at how far along they are. It's almost as if they've been in this business for fucking triple the amount that they've actually been in the business.
They are. I just want to see more of a difference than the two. Make them a tag team or something, or I want to see them as a tag team. But the point is, I want to see a little bit more of a difference between them. I mean, they feel like two of the same guys. It was starting to feel a lot like Lance Archer and Wardlow.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, they're just two of the same kind of guys. Let's kind of differentiate them. They're great. You know, and Ricky Starks is starting to come on to me a little bit more because I was not feeling it at the beginning of it, but before his injury. But since he's come back from that, I'm feeling Ricky Starks a little bit more right now. He's talking a little bit more. He's sounding a little bit different in his cadence and his mic work. I'm liking it now. But now I see MJF for him. I mean, and if they're going to continue it the way that I feel that they are, I mean, you're going to have two of the same kind of people on the same brand. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you gotta do something to make him stand out a little bit more.
Well, Cage needs a personality. All we know is that he's a big fucking jacked up dude who can beat the shit out of you pretty much by fucking looking at you. But he's got no personality. I need to know his personality.
Well, that's the problem now. You took him out of Team Taz. He has no mouthpiece. He's not good on the mic at all. He's good in the ring, not good in the mic. He took his mouthpiece. Now he's a baby face. Now he has no character. He has no gimmick.
No. We'll see what happens. Listen, I'm not going to immediately throw an F at Brian Cage. I think Tony Khan has done fucking God's work here with Miro. Look how great Miro looks. There's no reason why it shouldn't be the same for Brian Cage. What's up, Issa in the chat? Demon Diva has arrived. And the tribal chief, Roman, I'm sure is not far behind. Not that Roman, you fucking geeks. The cuter Roman. There you go.
But look, but on that note, though, Miro has more charisma in his pinky finger than Brian Cage has in his entire body.
I know. We're not going to sit here and argue which is better. I think everybody knows. No. But yes, Brian Cage needs to figure something out, and very quickly. Jesse, we got Hiroshi Tanahashi coming to AEW. The Ace is coming to AEW. Says he's won many titles in his career. He's never won the IWGP United States title. And he'll beat the winner of tonight's matchup in a snap. This is a big step for the Forbidden Door, Jesse, as far as the talent exchange goes with Tony Khan and all these other promotions. And this, I feel, if you're a New Japan fan or if you watch New Japan here in the United States, it's going to get you to switch over to AEW. I don't know why you wouldn't be watching AEW at the moment if you're a New Japan fan here in the United States, but this is a great cross promotion, and this match, I don't know when it's going to take place, but I would have to assume this is going to be Lance Archer's match at All Out.
Yeah, man. I don't have words. We're getting Tanahashi versus fucking Lance Archer, man. What the fuck, man?
I mean, this is the biggest name that the Forbidden Door has let walk through. You can imagine who else may be coming in. Imagine if we saw Kazuchika Okada on Dynamite cut a promo like this, bro. Or Kota Ibushi. Or maybe a Will Ospreay when he's 100% ready to go. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. They said that match is happening at the New Japan Pro Wrestling show.
Okay. I could see. Well, then I could see Tanahashi taking that title back to New Japan. Then
take it back to New Japan. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, but either way, I mean that's going to be a great match. Lance Archer is doing his thing so far, looking good. Tanahashi, the biggest name to come from the Forbidden Door so far. So we will keep a close eye on that. Jesse, FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler with Tully against Santana Ortiz with Konnan. This was one of the matches I was looking forward to in weeks. Love tag team wrestling. Love Santana and Ortiz, two of my boys. FTR, in my honest opinion, one of the top 3 tag teams on the planet. But before we get into the match, I got to shout out Santana and Ortiz. They look physically fucking the best I've ever seen them. Ortiz looked phenomenal as far as what he's done to slim down and look good. And not that he didn't look good before, but he looks to be in the absolute best shape of his life. And so does Santana. I mean, these guys are rocking and rolling. They are looking the part. And no doubt in my mind, they're going to be tag team champions very, very soon. But Jesse, I got to admit, man, this match, I'm not even gonna fault these guys for it. Something happened in this match where an audible was called. It might have gone a little bit longer than what we were given tonight. But Santana hot tagged in. They fought back and forth. The crowd seemed they didn't seem as excited in the match as I expected them to with the heat that should have been for this match. I don't know if it was something that happened in the 10-man tag. Maybe the wind got taken out of them in that 10-man tag, and they were very tired for this, or they wasted a lot of energy on the opening match. But Cash was out at ringside for a little bit. Dax landed a brainbuster suplex for the clean win. Now, apparently, Cash was going up to the top rope. There might have been a miscommunication. I don't know if Santana jumped early at Cash and knocked him off the top rope, but the way he fell, clearly it did something to his arm. As you guys saw, and as I'm sure you saw, Jesse, he was on the outside with several trainers and a doctor. There was a puddle of blood underneath him, and it looked like he had a huge gash right on his right arm. And something bad happened. I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping that he's all right, because this is going to be a big deal in the next couple of weeks, these two. Yeah,
he was bleeding pretty goddamn profusely. It looks like he might have slit an artery, man.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It looked nasty.
It looked pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, he just, I don't know what the hell happened. I forget which one of them did it, Santana or Ortiz, but they just went over there and just kind of just awkwardly pushed them off the top rope.
Yeah, it might have been a timing issue. I think Santana might have jumped at him a little early before Cash actually got his footing on the top rope, and that's what led to the fall.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty bad. Plus, I don't know what kind of cable that was over there, and why it sliced open a performer, but I think you can pretty rest assured they're going to put pads over those cables now between the post and the turnbuckle.
I really think they should, with the amount of risks that this roster takes. I mean, that was bad, and I hope that he's all right. I hope that we get no time taken away from what these two teams have built, because we got FTR winning this match. I thought it was going to be the other way around. We potentially may be getting this at some point in the next couple weeks, whether it happens on a Dynamite show or in Chicago. But I will find out whatever I can, and I'll update you guys on Off the Script this weekend about Cash Wheeler's injury, or if it's as serious as it looked. I hope not. But two of these...
God. Hologram said the bone fucking came through the skin.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck, man. FTR cannot catch a fucking break, man.
Yeah, that's... I didn't see that. Or read that. That's bad. The most we could do, guys, is keep you updated, but Cash was fucked up tonight, and I wish him nothing but the best in this recovery. Shit happens when you're in that ring, and I hope that this doesn't really stop the momentum of Santana and Ortiz. So we'll see what happens. Really bad injury for Cash Wheeler, and I'll update you as soon as I can. Lance Archer and Hikuleo. This was his debut match on Dynamite. He came out with his father, King Haku, who looked great. And I got to admit, Jesse, Hikuleo did not look bad at all. The kid can move. For a man his size, he moved very, very swiftly and gingerly in the ring.
He did. I mean, what can you say? I mean, it was not bad.
No,
it was not bad. I mean, clearly there's more to go. But it's in his blood, man. What are you gonna? Give him time.
Yeah, give him time. Archer immediately booted Hikuleo into the corner, clotheslines repeatedly, went for the 10 punches, the old school classic 10 punches in the corner. Hikuleo powered out, hit a powerbomb for a 2. Archer came back with some stiff forearms. Hikuleo hit a power slam. Nicely done there, very snappy, Randy Orton-esque power slam. Haku got involved during the break, sending Archer into the barricade. Once back, Hikuleo was in control. Archer blindsided Hikuleo with a big boot, followed with some strong strikes, ripcord clothesline. Archer walked the top rope like he usually does, hit his patented moonsault, went up and followed with a big superplex for a 2. Archer then hit the blackout. Pretty academic here. Lance Archer, no way, was losing this match. Retains the IWGP United States Championship. Now will go on to defend that against the ace of New Japan very, very soon. So nice debut here for Hikuleo, a part of the Forbidden Door. One of my favorite... I'm sorry, Jessica.
Hologram said disregard his last statement. He's an idiot. So.
Oh, he was... so the bone didn't break through the skin.
I don't know if it did or it didn't, but he's saying that it's not confirmed that it did.
Well, I hope to God not. That sounds terrible. We don't want to see nothing like that happen.
And if this guy is anything like his father, he's gonna be the scariest motherfucker in AEW, man. Because anybody who don't know, Haku is a fucking ridiculous maniac.
Bro, when I watched
IRL.
WWF back in the day, man, King Haku was a fucking. You looked at that guy and he fucking terrified you, man.
The fucking killer, dude.
Yeah. Alex Marvez interviewed Darby and Sting backstage. Sting was just there for star power and presence. He didn't really say much of anything. Darby said he would be in Chicago, and he said he's been around greats, and there's only one place to prove you're the best, and that's in AEW. Even if you think you're the best in the world. Huge CM Punk chants rang out.
Goosebumps.
And then Jim Ross followed up with this, and I quote, "That's compelling information." It's compelling information. And then he said, "The future looks bright. Jump on and ride along with us. The world will be traveling to Chicago," he says.
Yeah. I mean, how many more innuendos can you throw? JR, oh, look at that. That little bit of a pipe bomb from Darby there. What do you think?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just say Punk is going to be there.
Yeah, we don't know. Again, this is all speculation, folks. You know, Jesse and I think that Punk's going to show up on this Rampage episode. That may be why they're running the United Center. This could be where he debuts. And the other question is it going to be a match with Darby? Is it going to be something where they're paired together? Is it going to be a troll job by AEW for Punk to show up at All Out? Are they using this promo to sell tickets for anticipation or in anticipation, which would kind of be a fucked up thing to do? But like Taker Drew said, it is professional wrestling and it is a business. But there's so many questions coming out of this. But I think everybody's in agreement that Punk is going to show up on August 20th. That's what I think it's going to be, right?
Has to be. If this show didn't exist, I would say it's 100% All Out. If this show didn't exist, I would venture to say maybe he pops up on the Go Home show of Dynamite before All Out.
Yeah.
But since this show was announced and tickets go on sale in 2 fucking days, he wants to sell this fucking arena out and he's using Punk to do just that without saying Punk will be there.
Update from Yoshi D in the chat. Cash Wheeler update from Twitter. Apparently he is okay. It was gauze, not his bone. Well, there you go.
It was gauze.
Like the
that we saw. Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't bone.
If your bone sticks out, people, it's not gonna stick out white. It will be covered in fucking blood all over the fucking place.
Well, listen, as long as he's all right, man. So shout out to Cash Wheeler, man. I love FTR.
Good.
We got Marvez. He's all over the place here. First with Darby, and now he's with Jesse's favorite professional wrestler, Cody Rhodes. And backstage, he was sitting with Tony Khan and the coach, Jerry Lynn, and he had behind him a sign that said EVP, Jesse, as if we didn't know.
No.
Cody puts himself over even in signage. It's amazing. So Jerry Lynn was sitting next to him, and Malachi Black came out of nowhere and blasted this guy with a fucking big kick right to the face. They brawled on the stage. You seen Tony Khan fucking take off his headset like, what the fuck are you doing? So they brawled onto the stage. Cody landed an uppercut. Black landed a high knee. Crowd was popping for all this stuff. They battled on the stage. Black kneeled near Cody, and he told him after he knocked him out, "Welcome to the House of Black." Jerry Lynn and several other wrestlers came out to check on Cody. And Fuego del Sol, Jesse, was out there, and he got black masked. I think his head is still rolling down the fucking aisleway there. He got blasted with a black mass, and he sold it beautifully.
Malachi is a fucking asshole as far as I'm concerned right now.
Oh, no, not Fuego! Not Fuego!
Who does that to Fuego del Sol?
Oh, my goodness. Bro, you know what I want to know? Why don't we get this type of segment in WWE? We all know Vince is sitting there. Why don't we get a brawl with Vince taking off his fucking headset, waving his arms in the air like that? That's what I want.
Yeah,
Kevin Dunn always meticulously
knock Vince over out of his chair. Oh, what the fuck?
Kevin Dunn always meticulously shoots to not show us what's on the other side of the screen. I'm like, motherfucker, I know you're there. Let me see you. You know?
Yep. Pretty, but that would have been great. But let's get back to what he did to Fuego del. You see the pop that Fuego got, man? You see that?
I heard it.
Yeah. Fuego, man.
Apparently, he's the master of the tornado DDT. Is this true?
Yeah, but he's still not signed.
He's not signed.
Yeah, he's still not signed yet.
Wow. I think he'll get signed. Where's he going?
Where's he gonna go?
Where's he going? Anyway, I love this, Jesse. Black and Cody next week, AEW Homecoming. We all know that Cody is going to take several weeks off to go film Go Big Show. So I think he gets his ass handed to him next week. And Malachi Black, are we going to get a rematch at All Out? And if not, what does Black do at All Out?
I hope we don't get a rematch.
Do we get Fuego del Sol versus
Black? I'm sick of rematches in wrestling right now. Well, listen, I just want to see a match happen and just go to the next one. Do we see a rematch? I'm hoping no. I'm hoping Black puts Cody out and puts him on his hiatus to do his season 2.
Do we get Fuego del Sol versus Malachi Black?
Nope. Gotta get signed first.
Gotta get signed.
We might get that on Dark though.
We might
get to be honest. All right. Yeah. Fuego's active on Dark. We might get that on the Dark. If it was after Malachi debuts and does his match with Cody and everything else. Maybe they want to get him some more work in the ring. Yeah, stick him in the ring with Fuego del Sol. That'd be actually pretty damn good.
Well, clearly this is going to be the main event of next week's show.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a complete Brody Lee type burial here by Cody and Black. Meaning the way Brody buried Cody. I mean, the way he just destroyed him in 3 minutes.
I still just hope that Black wins. I'm dead serious, man.
He's going to win.
I hope so.
Why wouldn't he win?
Okay. Hey, what happened to the other guy that should have won? What the fuck? Where is he?
Who?
Who? Oh, excuse me. I had to sneeze. Who is it? The British boxer guy.
Oh, Anthony Onogo.
No-go.
I don't know. He's still recuperating. He's still recuperating.
Where the fuck?
He's still recuperating.
From the burial?
I guess so. Yeah, maybe he got so heartbroken over losing to Cody.
Yeah, whacked with a fucking golden shovel by Cody.
Listen. Black was actually interviewed by Metal Injection magazine, and Black made it clear that he did not enjoy his time on the WWE main roster and criticized WWE's. I know it's crazy, right? And criticized the main roster's bipolar 50-50 booking. Jesse, he says this, and I quote: "I was sick of it. Even before everything went down, I loved my time in NXT, but I felt I did nothing of importance on the main roster. It was too much bipolar 50-50 booking. They would push me and pull me off TV. Honestly, 50-50 booking, that's the entire product right now. There's nothing really consistent. Everything changes week to week or is done to the point of beating it to death," he says. End quote. I mean, is he right or is he right?
No, he's right. I mean, we heard the stories years ago about how Vince just no longer was in the business of creating superstars because he got tired of losing his biggest fucking superstars. He lost The Rock, he lost Cena, he lost Batista. He's going to lose Roman Reigns to Hollywood as well at some point. He just doesn't want to do it anymore. So he's making mediocre stars who never get over all the way and fans lose interest in because they keep putting them up and then pulling them back down.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you on top of what I haven't already. I mean, Black, he's right about this. He's watching his wife go through it now again on the main roster. Nothing's consistent. You see what happened to her on SmackDown. She didn't even get a fucking entrance on SmackDown. She got destroyed by Tony Storm. So, everybody that was coming to her defense, now you're all crying the same thing that I told you was going to happen. And what happened? She's 0-4 on the main roster and will continue to lose every single week until Vince McMahon gets bored and then releases her all over again. And then she'll be in AEW doing what she should have done the first time around. So give me a break.
I hope Tony Khan doesn't even fucking sign her at that point. He should have came the first time, idiot.
Yeah. I got to shout out Black's makeup, man, and what he looked like. The black eye, selling the black eyes, got that blackened part of his face. The other side is all like regular looking. It's looking great. I'm excited to see what he does in the ring next week. Can't wait to see his debut on Dynamite against Cody Rhodes. Should be awesome, and I am pretty confident he's going to get the victory there. Private Party, Jesse, Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, Angelico with Matt Hardy on the outside, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Christian Cage. This was pretty much 5 minutes, and that's all it was. Nothing of note here, but We got Christian and Marco chasing Matt to the back during the end of this thing. Cassidy took over in the ring until Jungle Boy tagged in Luchasaurus. He back suplexed all three guys at the same time, which looked great. Private Party made a comeback with a double kick. Jungle Boy flipped dove onto Cassidy and Angelico. Christian then landed a top rope frog splash on Mark Quinn for the 1-2-3. Christian, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus win in 5 minutes. As Christian was cheering people on at ringside, Blade came in to punch him while wearing a hoodie. And he punched him with the brass knuckles, knocked him out. And Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt checked on Christian while Mr. Blade ran up the ramp to go attend to Matt Hardy. So does this signify anything that's coming, Jesse? Is Christian Cage eventually going to turn heel? When are we going to turn Christian heel? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Are we going to get the match with Jungle Boy at All Out?
I don't know. They didn't even do any weird, creepy promo segment to make it to insinuate the heel turn this week. No. So I don't know. Again, we're changing plans. Maybe that gets scrapped and changed too.
Maybe it is Christian versus Miro.
Maybe. I mean, maybe they're going to keep him babyface a little bit longer. That's another thing about these moving parts by bringing in Punk and Bryan. It's going to be important where they land as far as babyface or heel to balance out the talent that they want to face, at the matches they want to do. I'm not completely against a Christian Cage versus Miro match. In fact, I'm thinking about it now. It might actually be pretty damn fucking good for the undercard. Not only does it give Miro a great guy to work with because, Christian's a very good professional wrestler, so I can imagine they have a great match. It also fits into the whole narrative of Christian Cage outworking everybody. Can he outwork the fucking beast, the monster Miro? And if Miro beats Christian Cage, it's going to only add to him. That's a great first loss for Christian to take. I mean, Miro's been built up great. I think it's a win-win situation if you want to go and do that. I think so, too. I think getting him the L will definitely kind of ease the heat that he might be getting from the fans about his push. Give him that L. I think the heel turn would have really eased. They could have kept him undefeated, turn heel, and then continue going undefeated. But I just think that bringing in these stars, these Malachis, these Bryan, these Punks, I think you have to make sure that everybody is positioned where you want them as far as where they are on the card and heel or babyface. So I just think it's kind of a domino effect where these guys are kind of changing everything they may have had planned going down the road in their what's called long-term booking.
Yeah,
WWE fans, long-term booking is what it's called.
Love it. Also, what I love is Miro, Jesse. Speaking of Miro, he cut a promo. He said that he is God's favorite champion, and he is fighting Lee Johnson. My boy Lee Johnson, man. This is the biggest match of Lee Johnson's career. It is. All that shit you spoke about with Lee Johnson, man, it's going to make you look like a fucking goon next week. I'm telling you right now. Lee Johnson's get a TNT championship match. I'm going to be cheering him on.
You guys come here every week and say, "Oh, you hate you hate Cody." I sit here and like,
Lee Johnson.
You hate Lee Johnson. No, I don't. That's a lie.
Lee Johnson's going to prove Jesse wrong next week. Watch. All that bad mouthing he did for weeks.
No, he's nowhere near there yet, man. He's getting there. I'm not hating on him. He's getting there, but he's not there yet.
Anyway, listen. We got this match next week with Lee Johnson. He says he's talented, but he cannot take his divine right away from him. He said he's a simple man, Jesse. He said the two things that motivate him, the Lord and his double-jointed wife. He said a glorious reckoning is upon him. This is the word of the Redeemer. God, I love Miro. I love Miro, bro.
That's the second mention of CJ Perry on AEW.
She's coming. She's coming. When's her 90 days up?
Yeah, she is coming. I don't know. I think they all in around end of August, right?
Yeah, we may see her all out. You know who else I think is all elite? Buddy Murphy. I think Buddy Murphy's going to be one of these guys that fills in for the labors of Jericho.
I can see Buddy Murphy at Impact. Be honest,
I could see him there too, but
I can see.
I mean, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm taking a long, hard look at Buddy Murphy for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he can get his I won't say get his feet wet, but he can get some momentum behind him in Impact for a while. And he can venture through the forbidden door and show up on Dynamite and everything else. And I mean, I like Buddy. I think he's very underrated in the ring. I think he can use some work on the charisma side. Not a lot of work. I'm saying he's not a fucking Ricochet on the mic, but he can use a little bit more work though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Nick Gage vignette aired. It included clips of him in GCW using a pizza cutter, light tubes, and glass panes. Says he's the deathmatch king, and Jericho will be feeling pain for the rest of his life. There you go.
Thanks.
Julia Hart, Jesse's other favorite professional wrestler. I think Julia Hart is Jesse's favorite female on the roster, man. More so than Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and more than Thunder Rosa. Don't let her hear that, though, bro. I don't allow that on this show.
Ooh, somebody is over as fuck right now.
Julia Hart, I know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Doesn't she look so cute, man? So small and tiny, man. She got the cheerleader look going on, right? She looks adorable out there.
Julia Hart too. I mean, we know how over she is. You don't.
Yeah, she's over with Lee Johnson. She's over with Lee Johnson for sure, right?
Yeah. Go back to that promo last week with Anthony Bowens. Then you'll see how over she really was.
No, well, I mean, everybody's over with fucking Bowens and Kester. I mean, anyway, this was a 3-minute squash pretty much for Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is now all elite. She is full-time with AEW, which I see that AEW Women's Championship going to her sooner rather than later, to be honest with you. We have Thunder Rosa, Jesse. I know you've been telling me on text or via text about her being on Dark. Man, you were right, man. She is over as fuck right now in AEW. It's going to be very difficult to deny Thunder's power on AEW and in that women's division. But, you know, you said it best. If anybody is going to turn Britt Baker fully heel, it's going to be Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. I think this bullshit match with Nyla Rose turning Britt Baker tweener / face almost. I think it did her gimmick no good.
Hey, Abdul in the chat. I'm fucking joking around, bro. She's 19. Give me a fucking break, bro. I'm not speaking in a way where I find her. I'm going to go out and fucking slip into her DMs. Go fuck yourself. Get him out of the chat. Get him out. Abdul in the chat. Talking about my comments about Julia Hart. I'm fucking joking around, clown. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I'm sorry.
What was I saying? No, I don't even remember anymore.
I talked about Thunder Rosa turning Britt Baker fully heel.
Oh, yeah. When that coming out of that match with Nyla Rose, man, because Nyla Rose is, you know, the apparent heel and all of that, and Britt Baker was starting to turn, you know, tweener / face to make the dynamic flow a little bit better. It did her gimmick no good, and you can kind of tell that when she did her promo tonight, she was definitely turning up the heel level a little bit more. Yeah, and when you watch Thunder Rosa's dark matches and stuff like that, that's kind of how I can tell about what's going to happen on Dynamite coming up in the next week or so. Commentary will tell you on Dark. They'll go out of the way they'll basically say, "Oh, here's Thunder Rosa tonight. Look at her. Look at that pop. She's undefeated this year in this and that. You know, she could be the number 2. You know, you might be seeing her against Britt Baker." So they're basically telling you what's coming up next right then and there.
Look at this. You guys don't believe me, man. Look at this guy. This guy is my newest security right there. Look, see, there you go. Roman is the newest fucking bodyguard for JD when I go out. You see that right there? No. Yeah. You'll see it. You're on 15-second delay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Issa in the chat. Yes, Thunder Rosa. I think she's Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa is a solid choice for All Out, Jesse.
It is. That's gonna tear it down. Oh wait, I'm getting to see your phone now. Let's see. There's fucking Roman. Look at that. Hey, Roman's watching me. Roman's awesome.
Roman's watching us. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the right match to do. There's really nobody else built up. Nobody else on TV in the women's division. It's either Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker or no women's title match. Simple.
Yeah, again, we don't know the status of Britt Baker's wrist.
No. No, you got to keep her off. Don't keep her off TV, but keep her out of the ring.
Yeah. So maybe they just let it go. Maybe they want to build to a bigger platform with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, because right now that's your number 1 and 1 face and heel in the women's division. So until they get Chris Statlander in the spot that they want her in, until they get Jade Cargill in position to go, Right now, the top two of the division is Britt and Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, just by her fucking pop alone, she get the biggest pop of the night tonight.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
with a dead crowd. This wasn't even one of the best pops she got because the other crowds were much hotter. This crowd
not that this crowd was bad tonight. I mean,
Rosa.
not that this crowd was bad. It was just the other two crowds that we saw the last couple of weeks were just fucking insanely hot. Last week was ridiculous.
You know, they flipped out and fell over themselves when Thunder. It surprised me. I was sitting there eating a fucking cup of Jello, like what the fuck? And they popped for Thunder Rosa, and soon after that, not long after that, Tony Khan wouldn't have bought her fucking contract out from the NWA. It's like no, she's ours. No, nope.
Jesse, I got an important question for you. Who's better, Julia Hart or Nikki Trash?
Nikki Cross is a fantastic fucking wrestler. That's not even a question, dude. Fantastic. Now, gimmick-wise, who has the worst gimmick? I don't know. They're running neck and neck right fucking now.
Oh, there you go. Jesse doesn't play favorites here, folks. That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a Jon Moxley soundbite. He complained about not being able to wrestle in Japan despite seeing water polo Olympic teams battling on TV at the airport. Said Tanahashi's been dodging him for months. Screw you, he said. You don't get to wrestle me. You're dead to me. He said he's mailed a contract to New Japan and wants to go through the forbidden door. So are we getting Moxley versus Tanahashi?
Tanahashi, dude.
Where's that happening? That's happening here, right?
Are we getting Moxley, Archer, and Tanahashi in a triple threat?
Are we getting Moxley and Tanahashi at All Out?
Oh man.
Jesus.
The fucking possibilities, bro.
Jesus. Oh, my goodness. The forbidden door, man. Nobody knows. It's the beautiful thing about it.
And when Tanahashi shows up on AEW television one good day, did he fly over alone? Did he come in by himself?
I don't know.
Bring with him?
I don't know.
Where's Okada? Where is Okada? That's my question for Tony. Where is our fucking Okada? Where's Okada? Let's go. Bring him on.
Okada's going to be here.
We want Okada. We want the fucking Rainmaker, baby. Let's go.
Okada's going to be here sooner than later. Anyway, we got the main event, guys. Chris Jericho is back as the Painmaker against former GCW champion Nick Gage, who lost his championship to Matt Cardona in New Jersey on Saturday. Crazy. I was there in attendance, man. It was fucking crazy. It was ridiculous. My first GCW show. I'm sure I will be attending more in the future. It was very entertaining. What did you think? Did you see the clip of Gage and Cardona and the bottles being thrown? I know I tweeted a personal video out. I mean, Meltzer had a problem with it, saying it was an embarrassment, but I mean, I thought Brett Lauderdale did what he could and pulled it off great. I think the decision was right to take the title off of Gage before Dynamite because he was inevitably losing to Jericho. And, you know, just based on that, they figured, all right, we'll take the title off of Gage, put it on Cardona, we'll book a rematch in fucking Chicago or whenever it happens, and they'll fucking make triple the amount of money off the second match compared to what they did with the first match. It's great.
Man, the fucking possibilities, dude. I don't know what to fucking say, man.
Listen, man.
I'm like a kid in the fucking candy store right now, man.
It's all over the place. Wrestling is, people say wrestling is dead. I think wrestling is coming out of the pandemic. Yeah, it should have been the way we're seeing it now, but it's on fire right now, man. It's unpredictable. You don't know who's going to show up where.
And that's the way it should be. It really is the way it should be. If all of the wrestling promotions kind of banded together and it's kind of just gotten into the habit of sharing talent in the right way where everybody benefits, how much more fun would wrestling be right now? How much more? How awesome would it be to have Roman Reigns show up on fucking Dynamite and beat the shit out of Hangman Page?
I think that would be great.
You know, I mean, the fans will fucking love it. And for those who don't know, Matt Cardona winning the GCW title is about the equivalent of Crash Holly winning the ECW title.
I mean, I love the heat that he got. I mean, Meltzer called it an embarrassment, but I know I was there. Cardona had security walk out with him when he made his ring entrance. They didn't serve glass bottles there for beer. Everything was cans or plastic bottles, aluminum cans. Cardona winning the championship. He had fucking pizza cutters thrown at him. The only thing that was embarrassing, me being there, there were a bunch of neckbeard slobs behind me chanting or yelling at Nick Cage, slit his fucking throat, or kill him, Nick, or kill him, Gage. Those were not general wrestling chants. It's much different than, hearing a Joe is gonna kill you or something along those lines. They were legitimate fucking neckbeard slobs that were, just ruining people's times there. Throwing pizza cutters. Someone threw a legit pizza cutter. Don't know how it got in to the fucking venue, but that was there. And then when Cardona won, he ran out of the goddamn building, ran down the hallway of the casino. I'm assuming he had a fucking limo waiting for him. They took proper precaution. They made the right booking decision. It was the most talked about thing all fucking month so far. So good on them.
I say kudos, man. I mean, it's one of those things where if they're talking bad about you, you win because they're talking about you.
Yeah. And the heat,
Meltzer can shit on it.
The heat that he got, bro. I mean, that's the type of heat anybody wants.
Opinion about pro wrestling. I mean, everybody knows how respected he is, or is not. But like him or hate him, he's up there. So just a mention of it in that capacity, I would take that if I'm GCW.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they made a fucking T-shirt out of it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, also that's the type of heat you really want as well for Matt Cardona. I mean, he played it up brilliantly.
You can't buy that type of fucking heat.
No, I thought it was great. Nick Gage being on TV, there was a lot of people. Listen, I'm not a fan of deathmatch wrestling. I'm not a fan of the ultra violent stuff. I think, it's not really wrestling to me. It's just two guys who know how to swing a fucking light tube or a fucking thing of barbed wire or take a bump through glass. I mean, you got to have balls of steel to do it. You wouldn't catch me fucking dead doing it. But Nick Gage, you got to give him some sort of respect. He is in the business for as long as he's doing it, and he's got no fucking fear. That's not really a quality that you find in people like this. He goes in there and gets the job done. I thought he got the job done admirably tonight. I mean, he moves around like he's been in fucking death matches for the last 15 years. That's very apparent. You got to give credit to Chris Jericho as well. I think, Jesse, and I said this to myself, I didn't really tell you via text. I was waiting for the show. After all the shit Jericho got for the blood and guts fall, him going into this match and doing what he did and bleeding and taking the risk to doing the safest death match that you could probably have on national television. I don't think anything that was in the match was legit. Everything was staged and propped. You got to give Jericho credit, though, because shit could go wrong. He did so much of a better job tonight than he did in the blood and guts thing. You got to give him the ultimate credit. This is where you show respect to Jericho, because he doesn't have to do this shit at all at this age. And he went in there and acted as professional as you could be in an element that I would never thought I would see him in.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if he pushed for this match for that particular reason, to bring his credibility back up as far as doing a match like this,
Yeah.
Performing in the big stage at a high profile match like this. I could see him wanting to do that as well. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I thought this was a very fun main event. I think the outcome was never in question. But Nick Gage got a big entrance. Justin Roberts did him well. I know he gets a big entrance in GCW. He comes out to Metallica's For Whom the Bell Tolls. And obviously that can't be done here in AEW, but he did well on the entrance. Ross noted that they have never met, and people stood and looked at him. I don't know what the reaction was, Jesse. What was your initial reaction when Gage came out? The people who knew who he was, but they weren't really overly excited to like see him in the main event.
Yeah, they popped, but it was like we know we have a guest in the house, be polite type pop, know. I get it. They gave him his due respect because, they, if nothing else, they've all seen Dark Side of the Ring. I was telling my wife about Nick Gage tonight, and when we get done here, I'm going to go out and show the Dark Side of the Ring episode. This guy is fucking loony, dude.
Loony, might not be the most intelligent guy, but you got to, I mean, he's fucking crazy, man. He's crazy.
Jon Moxley's testimony alone for their fucking death matches, before his WWE days, it was just, it was cringe, dude. The shit that they did in that ring.
Yeah. Anyway, the match got started off pretty slow. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a fucking train wreck. They actually righted the ship, and it ended up being a very fun main event. Brief brawl at ringside for a little bit. Jericho was already busted open before the fucking match even started because Nick Gage was swinging a fucking pizza cutter, and I guess it slashed Jericho on the arm. Jericho was busted open because he went right into the steel post on the outside. Back in the ring, Gage landed a Falcon's Arrow, which I didn't even realize he knew what a Falcon's Arrow was, but here I am. I'm like, oh shit, doing a Falcon's Arrow. I know, it's a wrestling move. Jericho came back with the Walls of Jericho attempt. Gage grabbed the bottom rope, but there's no rope breaks in a no-rules match. MJF was on commentary. Gold, as always. He found a career after his life in pro wrestling doing commentary. MJF said Gage won't tap out because if he does, his check won't clear. So Jericho hit Gage with a baseball bat before Gage could use some light tubes that he found underneath the ring. What they were doing there, I don't know. Jericho was bleeding heavily from his forehead at this point because he went into the steel post. Gage came back with a chokeslam backbreaker, which looked great. Another wrestling move there. Pulled out the pizza cutter, and he played it up to the crowd. MJF was yelling, "Carve him up." He rolled the pizza cutter over Jericho's forehead. Nice camera work here by AEW for the first time in a long time on something like this. They didn't show a close-up of it because I don't think Jericho... I don't know if the pizza cutter was real or not, if it was propped, but good on them for backing away and giving you the illusion that he was doing it, because if we did, we'd probably find out it was a prop pizza cutter. So good on them there. He was rolling the pizza cutter over his head. Fans were cringing at ringside. Gage set up a pane of glass on two chairs. So he got two chairs in the ring, and Nick Gage put a piece of glass on the two chairs. Jericho was making a comeback here. They were brawling on the top rope. And then Jesse, a Hurricanrana, a Frankensteiner from Jericho to Gage off the top through the pane of glass. That was an incredible visual on TNT.
That was insane, man. That was insane. And it was a pretty unique spot for network TV. I don't think I've ever seen that spot on network TV before.
Me neither. I mean, it looked great. So Gage made a comeback after he shattered the glass and went through it. He kicked out at a 1, and then he did, no, I'm used to this, motherfucker. You don't have to do more than that to beat me. He took some light tubes and broke light tubes over Jericho's head, and then he took the broken pieces of light tubes and started jabbing Jericho in the head with it. It's the same thing he did to Cardona at the GCW show in Atlantic City. Gage pulled out 2 sets of 4 wrapped light tubes. Jericho sprayed green mist in Gage's face, pulling out an Oscar move, or a Great Kabuki move, or fucking Ultimo Dre, or whatever. The
Tajiri, man.
Tajiri, there you go. Then broke the light tube over Gage's head, landed the Judas effect, and he knocked Gage out at that moment. 1, 2, 3. Jericho wins in 12 minutes. MJF on the microphone yelling. He revealed to him labor number 3. He said the winner has to land a move off the top rope to win. Then we threw it to a clip from November 13th, 2019, where Jericho made a comment about how MJF's parents conceived him when they were watching him beat Juventud Guerrera on Monday Night Nitro. MJF then revealed he'll have to face Juventud Guerrera in his return to TNT next week. Juventud Guerrera is coming back to TNT, Jesse.
You know, normally I would sit here and be like, why in the fuck are we getting the Juventud and everything else, you know? But somehow, and just the way and the dynamic that they brought this up and the situation that they brought it up, you know, following the Nick Gage match and everything like that, and the reason behind it, all behind him being mentioned in a promo, you know, just last year and everything else. I think it was pretty smart, you know. I like it.
Me too.
It's a one-off, you know.
And listen, man, I called a Juventud Guerrera match in House of Glory, man. When I called his match, I was shocked at how good he looked and how good he moved in the ring. Now, that was a couple of years ago. So now we're about 2.5, 3 years removed from that. From what I heard, he still looks great.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, I don't know what kind of shape he's in right now. I don't know if he's still active or what. You know, but nonetheless, I can't wait to see. Hoovy was great. You know, one of the most memorable things for me about Hoovy was when The Rock buried him on Raw.
What did The Rock say about Juventud Guerrero?
He was cutting a promo. I think it was against Jericho, like when he first showed up or something like that. And The Rock said, you're over here on The Rock show and everything else. And, you used the last time I saw you, you was on the other network wrestling the guy named Juventud. And what the fuck is a Juventud? He just really fucking put him down in that promo. And I mean, he never even worked with Juvi. And then Juvi woke up one day and was like, why is The Rock fucking mentioning me like this? He kind of just buried him from across the pond. It was kind of fucking hilarious, man. I loved it.
Well, I'm excited for this match next week. It's a little different take on what we've seen so far. Clearly, you can see the direction that they're going with these Labors of Jericho. I'm very excited to see who's number 4 and number 5. So they're keeping it a mystery, unpredictable. I like it. So at the end of it all, Jesse, Gage in his Dynamite debut, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Definitely thumbs up. Two thumbs up.
Yeah. He did great
Two
tonight.
thumbs up.
Yeah, he did great tonight with Jericho. And I was thinking, Jesse, we have to appreciate this on TNT on Wednesday nights. That's why we look forward to Wednesday night so much. You would absolutely never see this on Monday night. Ever.
No.
So the AEW is like the cool uncle, man. And AEW is like AEW's the cool uncle, and Monday Night Raw, WWE is like the fucking 90-year-old grandpa who wants to sit down and watch fucking Jeopardy at 7 p.m. and then go right to bed after he eats his split pea soup. 7:30, I gotta go to bed.
Oh yeah. I
gotta brush my dentures.
In response to The Rock burying Juventud, he started doing The Rock's moves on fucking Nitro and shit. It was a nice little silent feud, man. It was kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
I never watched Nitro, so I'm completely oblivious to any of that.
Yeah, I remember that. He's fucking right. I remember that. It was really fucking cool. He started doing his moves and shit right there, like in plain view in front of everybody. Started doing a rock bottom on him and shit like that.
Anyway, guys, that's Dynamite and another great show from AEW. They're on fire right now. They got the wrestling world abuzz. They got the wrestling world talking. And Monday Night Raw has fucking Jinder Mahal and Eva Marie and fucking superheroes and fucking Reginald doing fucking trampoline acts and all this other shit, man.
But Braun's coming back.
Who?
Braun's coming back, man. What the fuck?
Stupid. Shane McMahon.
If I were you, I would reinforce your chair in the venue to get ready for Braun's return, brother.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Yep. Well, reinforce that chair. We don't need another accident.
Jinder Mahal. Great. Anyway, guys, super chats are open. We're going to talk about everything you guys want to talk about. Get them on in. We got our cold beverages. I got one on tap right here. So, depending how long we go tonight. Thank you so much, man. We got 2,500 plus inside the venue. Awesome show. Hit that thumbs up. We need 70 more for 1,200 likes. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for notifications. And make sure you guys check out Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. Get yourself some great hygiene products, man. Smell like a fucking real wrestling fan. Don't smell like one of these smelly GCW fucking neckbeard slobs. Okay? DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. Let us go into... I gotta go into my fucking super chat settings here.
MJF says, and I quote, "Fuck Nick Gage."
Is that what he said on social media?
He's posted on Twitter a half hour ago.
Jesus Christ. He may want to choose his words a little bit more wisely.
Then put his ass in the match with Nick Gage. He'll fucking die, man.
I know. Forget about it. Reese with a $20 super chat right at the top. What's up, JD and Jesse? Hope both of you are doing well. I was wondering what your guys' thoughts were on the story of Omega and Page getting sacrificed for Punk at All Out. Do you think CM Punk would get in the way of that? Reese, absolutely not, brother. CM Punk is not coming in to win the World Championship. Not yet, anyway. Michelle Moran, with a $2 super chat. No Page, Omega at All Out. May be a huge mistake. We don't know yet, Michelle. The beauty of Tony Khan's storytelling, man. We don't know. We We could still be getting that. We could get something else completely different, but it's going to be Page and Omega at some point. If it's not all out, it's definitely going to happen before Full Gear. Susan D'Ambrosio with a $5 super chat. JD and Jesse, hope all is good with you guys. How do you think Hangman will get to Kenny now that he and the Dark Order lost the tag match? Susan, we talked about it extensively between us two and with Ticket Drew. So hopefully we answered all of your questions and gave you some good wrestling discussion. Emmanuel Reed with a $5 super chat. Nick Gage is one sick son of a bitch. Had my stomach weak. Bro, if that got your stomach weak, you didn't see anything, man. There was 2 death matches at fucking GCW Saturday show, man, in Atlantic City. Both of them 1,000 times worse than what you saw. Susan D'Ambrosio with a $5 super chat. JD and Jesse wanted to say, I love your Wednesday night reviews of Dynamite, and Dynamite was awesome tonight. Long live AEW. Thank you, Susan. Always appreciate you. Hopefully you're doing well. Also, shout out to my boy Hooligrim in the chat. I know he's holding it down. Hopefully we could ease his mind on this Wednesday night. I heard from a certain Hoot Media that Hooligrim's having a bad week. So my love and Jesse's love and all of the fans in the live stream chat right now, love for my boy Hooligrim as he's having a very difficult week, man.
Hang in there, Hoolie. Hang in there.
Tony Brown with a $4.99 super chat. JD and Jesse, I saw New Jack live. That's his kind of violence. Very bloody. This was sick. AEW rules. Screw Oldberg. You saw New Jack live, huh? New Jack was a crazy son of a bitch, man.
He's dangerous.
Jesus fucking Christ. Can you imagine that?
Ugh.
Joshua Bennett with a $5 super chat. That show was beautiful, just beautiful. I thought it was great, Joshua. Also, he says, as a genuine deathmatch fan, the fact that I just watched the TNT glass spot, light tube spots, bundles of tubes and pizza cutters and shanks almost brings a tear to my eye. Thank you, Tony Khan, he says. Yeah, it's pretty unusual to see that on TNT, man.
I just want to take a minute, and I might take a minute every week, every time I think about it, about what Tony Khan has done for pro wrestling, man. He brought a lot of money and put a lot of faith into the right people, into the right guys who are bringing us great wrestling. I just appreciate the hell out of this man right now. I really do.
Bro, if anybody is shitting on Tony Khan, man, they are an absolute fucking blithering idiot. Really.
He's opening up the fucking wallets. He's doing what is needed. He's getting on that private jet. He's going to fucking Chicago. He's going out to fucking to fucking Washington, to wherever he has to go to find fucking Bryan and Bree, and he's bringing in the people that the people want. That's all we fucking want. Is that asking too much? We want to see these people. Instead, you want to push these people and give us these people and tell us to root for these people when we don't want to. I mean, it's like Jekyll and Hyde type companies going on right about now, man.
Bro, he's saving pro wrestling as we see it weekly. Like, what is there not to like about what this man's doing? I don't understand these people.
Oh no.
Munchie Time with a $19.99 in Super Chat. No way Fuego isn't dead from that black mass. Great show tonight. Yeah, he sold it. Great. Great show tonight, and love the hints dropped by Darby. AEW is firing on all cylinders. Any beverages that you can recommend tonight? Much love to the OTS family. The best in the IWC. I don't have any beverages I can recommend to you tonight, bro, but we got the double super kick Bucks IPA in the venue if you guys want that. Nice 9% IPA, bro. Double IPA. Go pick that up. And Fuego, man, he did sell that black mass. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Fuego. He's over his shit right now, so I believe Tony Khan's going to eventually sign him as well to a contract.
Yeah, he'll get on, man. He'll get on.
Hoyt Reynolda with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, tonight was awesome. I tried Angry Orchard, and I loved it. What would you recommend? Hoyt, I do not like Angry Orchard. It's too sweet for me. I know they got an extra dry version of Angry Orchard. That's my type of jam when I'm talking about ciders, hard ciders. I like it dry. I don't like it sweet. But if you want a recommendation as far as something that I have tried cider related. Let me see. I think I have it queued up here. Let me see. Southern Tier, one of my favorite breweries in New York. They have ciders, and they have, I believe, a ginger cider. It's gluten-free, made with real juice, no sugar at all. They have apple cider, blood orange, honey ginger, and rose hibiscus. So if you can find any of that, they come in 12 packs. Southern Tier Brewery from Lakewood, New York. Go check them out. Hooligan with a $10 super chat. Speak of the devil, everyone in the chat, if you are on Twitter, do yourself a favor and tune in to JD and Tinker, Drew, and Blake Mitchamore Spaces live before AEW. It's a great time. Thank you, Hooli. Drizzy Drew with a $4.99 super chat. He was in the Spaces today, Drizzy Drew. Your thoughts with reports of potential plans for AEW being in jeopardy due to uptick in COVID mask mandates. Also, I think Cash broke his arm. Drizzy, thank you for the $4.99, brother. We talked about this in the beginning of the show. Hopefully we answered your questions. And Cash tweeted that he's all right. So hopefully he is not as injured as everybody initially thought watching the match with Santana and Ortiz. DV Acme with a $5 super chat. We're getting a match between two WCW legends, Jericho and Juventud Guerrera, set up by a gag line Jericho said a year and a half ago. Continuity. That's what I love about AEW, bro. Tony Khan gets it.
Hey, I forgot. Did you notice? I caught this when it happened. Did you notice that when MJF came out at the end of the show and he started to do his promo on Jericho, he started it off in the very exact way that Punk started his pipe bomb promo with Cena in the ring.
What did he say exactly?
He just started off with the same verbiage. He said when Punk came out, he says, John Cena, as you sit there in the ring, hopefully as uncomfortable as you possibly can be, I want you to listen to me. I want you to pay attention. And then MJF started off the very, very same way. And he'll say, Jericho, as you lay there, and as he started talking, I'm like, this is the same way Punk started off the pipe bomb promo.
Well, they're putting fucking clues everywhere, huh?
Yep, I don't know if anybody else caught that, but he started that promo off tonight the very exact same way. I know because I listened to that promo a million fucking times, man.
Interesting. I didn't pick that up, but that's a good observation.
Yep.
DV Acme, hopefully we he says Juventud Guerrera continuity. Yes, absolutely, brother. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Drizzy Drew, we talked about everything you want earlier in the show, bro. Go check it out. Prodigy RKO, $10 super chat. Do you guys recommend any Nick Gage matches for me to watch, JD and Jesse? Prodigy, outside of what I saw this weekend and tonight on Dynamite, I don't have a fucking clue about what Nick Gage has done in the last 10 years.
No, I say go watch A Dark Side of the Ring with Nick Gage.
There you go. You'll see everything you need to know there.
Yeah.
Haley Lucas with a $5 super chat. I don't know about you, but I believe that Darby Allin promo said it all. It absolutely did.
Goosebumps, man. Legit goosebumps he gave me.
Jacob Donnelly with a $10 super chat. I think it's safe to say Punk is showing up at the Rampage in Chicago. United Center is a bigger arena, and it's weeks before All Out. They wouldn't do it unless something big was planned. Hey, listen, Jacob, you're not wrong, bro. I think everybody's on the same page with that line of thinking. Tony Khan's not going into the United Center expecting to sell that show out with what he's got going on now. Something is going to happen there, live after SmackDown's over.
Yeah, if he had plans to book the United Center, why wouldn't he have booked it for All Out? Yeah. Why would he book the Now Center first, and then weeks later come back and then do a quick sale for a show in August?
Yeah.
Because Punk wanted the United Center. That's why.
Yeah. Mr. Cake with a $5 super chat. Great show tonight. Although Page losing killed the crowd after the reaction he got. Also, AEW is crazy if they think Darby is getting cheered over Punk. They'll both be cheered in the in the match if it does happen. Cake.
Yes.
Punk is obviously going to be more. No
booze
at all. No booze at all. Punk is going to be the star, but Darby's going to benefit from it greatly. Magician Sapphire with a $10 super chat. AEW once again proving that Wednesday is the right night for pro wrestling. Such a palate cleanser after Monday night dumpster fire. Yes, Raw was awful. Raw was just genuinely awful. Now there's reports that Keith Lee is frustrated. Wow, man. And the fucking sky is blue. Wow. Great. And the report that Cross was supposed to wrestle Jeff Hardy and then lose for a second straight week. Can you imagine that?
All for a bigger story, right?
Yeah, bigger story. What, before he gets there?
Like the same bigger story that they told where Charlotte beat Ripley. It was for a bigger story.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the payoff for that.
They both look worse off for it.
Yeah.
Van Dam Pick a Hand with a $10 super chat. AEW showing why they are growing into a true alternative to WWE fans. WWE fans are part of the show. Having fun wrestling hasn't felt this entertaining since the Attitude Era. I said that tonight. Just kind of mumbling under my breath, Jesse. Dynamite is getting unpredictable, and with fans being back, it's must-see appointment television.
It is, because shit can go down. Man.
Yeah, they genuinely have a Raw is War feel to it. Like anything can fucking happen.
Yeah.
Brad Pie with a $2 super chat. Julia Hart or Dana Brooke, who is better?
Dana Brooke.
Julia Hart.
Probably can't miss with that one, but
taking Julia Hart. Jesse's going Dana Brooke.
I'm
Maybe we should
Dana
X
Brooke
Titus.
I'm taking Dana Brooke just for the experience alone.
Hollywood. I heard she was pregnant. I wonder if those rumors are correct.
Is it Batista's?
No.
I don't fucking know. I thought they were still dating.
No. She got engaged.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, to somebody not named Dave Batista.
No, well, good for her, man. Legit, good for, if that's true, legit, good for her.
Hollywood guy with a $5 super chat. I wonder how many geeks still think that AEW is a t-shirt company. Fuck them. The AEW effect is real.
I got a few fucking t-shirts I want from AEW right now.
I know, yeah. The AEW effect is real. Absolutely, Hollywood guy. Thank you, brother. Munchie time with a $4.99 super chat. WWE had no interest in getting CM Punk. Pause. Ha 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 ha. These WWE stooges should go do some stand-up comedy with Dolph Ziggler.
You know they got a built-in feud with Punk and Cody, right?
Yeah.
When Cody came out and publicly said, I think he just wants to go back to WWE. They're going to use that shit.
Well, of course they are.
Yep.
DJ with a $4.99 super chat. Julia Hart reminds me of Alexa Bliss in NXT. Lee Johnson finna get killed next week. He'll get a elbow shot in there. He may get a springboard moonsault in there, but yes, he's getting destroyed next week.
Yeah.
CC Steven with a $10 super chat. Hi, JD and Jesse. Thanks for reminding me that Rampage show is the night before SummerSlam. This is perfect. On that Saturday morning, instead of talking about WWE, the IWC will be talking about AEW. The way it sounds, CC, Steven, absolutely. DV Acme with a $5 super chat. If AEW weren't signing Punk, they wouldn't have been playing coy about it. When there were rumors about Braun in AEW, they shot it down with the quickness.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody wants Braun to go to AEW. That's why. That's a terrible signing.
Remember when Hogan was fishing to get a gig in AEW?
Yeah.
And Tony Khan said, "You are not fucking welcome on my fucking television show."
Yeah. Imagine that. You think Hogan has watched one episode of Dynamite? No.
Not since then.
No.
You are not welcome this company,
No
asshole.
way. Fuck Hogan, man. Big Stace, $10 super chat. Love you guys and what you do, but man, I'm feeling passionate. AEW gets a lot of hate from industry people, man. It's jealousy for 20 years. That had a chance to rejuvenate pro wrestling and failed. Who are these industry people, man? Jim Cornette?
Yeah. It's not
Eric Bischoff? Hooligan with a $5 super chat. Daniel Bryan is his slave name. Bryan Danielson. I
I wonder what he's going to go by.
I'm sure he's going to go by Bryan Danielson.
I was gonna go by American Dragon.
Probably. I was telling Jesse when, because I have the Final Countdown on my Spotify playlist. When that song goes off in New York City, bro, and the fans start singing that chorus, that is going to be fucking legit. Tear rolling down your face, just fucking proud of that moment to be there.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, man.
You never answered this text. Can Daniel Bryan do the yes chants?
You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
I hope so.
The crowd is going to do them regardless.
Yeah, I mean, they can't copyright the fucking fans.
Yeah, you can't fucking strike the fans.
Cease and desist to Tony Khan.
Yeah, the fans are gonna do it regardless. But I wonder if Daniel Bryan is allowed to do that, or is it owned by WWE?
It may be owned by WWE, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I don't know.
They copyright everything.
I mean, fucking wrestling. I mean, not just wrestling, but sports teams around the world do the fucking yes chant.
Yeah.
They all do. I don't see Vince going around striking all of them.
Well, they're not AEW, that's why.
That's why he's not AEW.
Bananial Rush with a $5 super chat. I don't drink, but Monday Night Raw makes me want to drink. AEW is the best, and thank God they're around. Otherwise, Raw would have killed me by now. I know the feeling, brother. I got to do this shit for a fucking living. I think I feel watching that show on Monday night. Savoy 48 with a $10 super chat. What approach do you guys think AEW takes with Dynamite Rampage? Do you think they split the roster or use Rampage as a leftover show? It's going to be their 1 hour version of just picture WCW Thunder.
Thunder. Yeah. Don't splitting the rosters. You're just pigeonholing yourself and making it harder on creative.
Everything that's going to happen on Monday night, not Monday night. Now you got me talking about fucking Raw. Everything that's happening on Wednesday night, what AEW wants to do on Wednesday night, they will continue on the following Wednesday night. How big it is. If they have secondary storylines that want more of a showcase, those are the storylines that are going to be on Rampage. Yeah. So like Andrade and Miro and the TNT title, that type of thing.
And as they bring in more and more talent, they need more places to show them on TV.
Yeah.
But no, you don't go out. Even if they want to do a brand split, they can. But don't go out and do an actual public brand split. If you in your mind have an idea of you want to split the rosters, just go ahead and do it, and don't make it fucking official. So when you need to move some people back to this show, then go ahead and do it. You don't have to explain why they're crossing brands. There is no brand split. I just happen to only have these guys on Rampage for the last month or so.
Yep.
Now they're over here. Just do it. Don't make it a big fucking deal.
Indigo with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD and Jesse, much respect. Jesse, your hat is fire. I love nights like this where we are all in good moods. Another awesome live stream. Thank you, Indigo.
Isn't the vibe just fucking awesome here tonight, man?
Yeah. Prodigy RKO with a $20 super chat. Hey, JD, have you thought about taking OTS on the road or doing a sit-down show like Chris Van Vliet does? Also, do you see a future for any of your hog buds with AEW, Japan, etc.? Prodigy, I may do some... When Hog gets back and I get back to work, I may do some interviews and stuff with some of their roster just to get their names out there. I want to help as much as I can. Being that the podcast is growing bigger and better than ever, I want to try and get some of them out into the public spotlight. I know they've done interviews with these small fries that got no audience, but I want to get them into a bigger spotlight. So I may go and do that on my own. I'm just going to ask Bryan, XL, and Red if that's all right before I do anything, because I respect the hell out of both of those guys. And as far as who I think from House of Glory, yes, Cash Flow, Ken Broadway, Evander James, my boys Jay Lyon and Midas Black, Main Event. Charles Mason is one to look out for. Nolo Catano, you name it, man. That's the core of Hog. That is going to be the core of Hog. So keep an eye out for those names. And if you're not following any of those guys on social media, they all have Twitter. Nickname My with a European $5 super chat. Nick Khan. WWE is a media company, not a wrestling company. In fact, we don't use the term wrestling here. It's pretty much accurate information there. Nickname My. Thank you. 199 super chat by Jaden Gilliam. I'm so excited and can't wait for Punk. Favorite for 10 years. Everybody feels the same way, Jaden.
Enjoy this moment, man.
You're living in history.
Yep.
Void the Destroyer. $9.99 super chat. Hey JD, how did your food on the grill turn out? Excellent. Made some burgers with Gouda cheese. Some roasted broccoli with some olive oil and seasoned to my liking. And couscous. Love it.
Couscous?
Yes, man, I love couscous.
You are fucking yuppie, dude.
I love couscous, man. I can have couscous every night.
You're a hipster. You know French fries go with burgers, right? Not fucking couscous.
Garlic and herb, okay? Shut your mouth. Also, I think Darby was indirectly referring to Kenny and Punk. Kenny versus Darby at All Out and Page versus Kenny at Grand Slam. What do y'all think? TK is the GOAT.
Dude, this is simple. They announced a show in Chicago at the biggest indoor arena we have. Then he said the line, best in the world. And now people are speculating Darby and Kenny. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you people? You don't even have to read between the lines. Just take a glance at the fucking page. He's telling you Punk.
Take it easy, bro. He's only asking a question.
No! That's a stupid fucking question. I'm kidding.
Boyd, we talked about that earlier, man. We both believe Punk showing up on Rampage. And Punk against Kenny and Darby, they're both going to happen regardless, just depending on where.
Just a win. It's a matter of win.
Yeah. Shaq with a $5 super chat. Kenny versus someone, Christian at Full Gear. Then Hangman at All Out. What do you think? Also, continue doing what you're doing and stay awesome. Thank you, Shaq. Kenny versus Christian probably will happen at some point. I don't see that as a pay-per-view match. It's more like a Dynamite match. Hangman at All Out. We're going to see, man. We're going to see what Tony Khan is doing, but I'm trusting the process. He wanted to throw a wrench into the predictable scenario, and that's exactly what he did tonight. Good on him. Reese with a $9.99 super chat. I feel like it's great for Punk to show up on Rampage in Chicago. That way, Adam Page can go over Omega, and the story between those two has a proper ending. Brian Mahoney with two $5 super chats. Hangman should win the title at Full Gear, then the exact event Omega beat him at last year. Maybe Punk versus Omega non-title at All Out. No. Absolutely not. AEW is constructed where nobody walks in and gets title matches immediately. Yeah, they tried that with Christian. They fucking shot that down fast.
Yeah, it failed miserably.
Terry Lee with a $4.99 super chat. WWE loyal fans who will never like another company. They're like sports fans of a team, and then they stick with that team even when they suck for life. WWE elitists, bro, are the dumbest fucking fans on the face of the earth. Don't listen to anything they have to say. Gustavo with a 99-cent super chat. No message. Keep it, brother. Go put it in the tip jar. The fucking hot blonde behind the bar is working hard to get you your drinks and get them out properly. Justin Strickland with a $4.99 super chat. I book Page to go up against one member of the Elite each week on Dynamite, excluding Kenny Omega. If he beats all of them, he gets Omega at All Out.
That's lame.
No. I like the, if we're going to do that, we might as well just do it all on the same night. A la Kofi Kingston.
I'm telling you guys, I don't think we're getting Hangman and Omega, because coming up with a way to get Hangman to Omega when he was already there is just fucking counterproductive and stupid.
We'll see.
He was there. He was number one contender. You got him to Omega. Now you got to get him back to Omega again?
We'll see.
I think they're changing their minds.
He got fucked over. We'll see.
Yeah.
Nickname mine with a $10 euro super chat. Play Cult of Personality in Chicago. Let Max Caster come out to it and let him talk over all the Chicago fans. Then cut him off with Cult of Personality. Let Punk come out, smash him, and then he cuts a promo. No. You're not going to ruin the moment with that. Come on.
It could happen one day on Dynamite, just not for its debut.
No. Mario Martinez with a $4.99 super chat. JD, sorry I pissed off Drew. Just love messing with him, and I love your show after a long day at school and work. Cheers me up. Love the chat. No worries, Mario. No worries. Drew was only joking. Palm Tree City with a $5 super chat. JD, I stopped watching the entertainment company in 2010. AEW brought me back, and I love it. That's what I love to hear, Palm Tree. Sick 1P1 with a $5 super chat. Glad you recapped the Ricky Starks promo. I was there tonight and we legit could not hear him. There was audio problems with the microphone. Sorry to hear that, brother. I heard him fine on my end.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in the venue. Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. Cult of personality hits and MJF walks out. Yes. Eventually on Dynamite when they're feuding, but
yeah,
not for the debut. Justin Strickland with a $4.99 super chat. I think AEW should save Lance Archer versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the all-out pay-per-view. I think so, but Jesse just texted me saying that it's going to be taking place at their New Japan Resurgence show in Los Angeles. And that's happening when? 8/14 at the LA Coliseum on Fight TV.
That's interesting. I didn't know that show was in the States, so Lance Archer will be a little bit of a U.S. draw for them at least. Then.
Yeah.
There we go.
And he may not lose the title. He may keep it.
Maybe. He's hometown boy.
Yep. John Cream with the $10 super chat. I'm surprised you didn't mention the Coach signage right next to Cody's signage. Punk's Twitter handle has been Coach for years. We did mention the Coach signage, but that's a good call, Cream. Coach is definitely Punk's handle on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, again, another little tidbit. Little fucking tease.
Easter egg.
You know?
Yeah.
Dayron Sanders with a $5 super chat. Was there in person tonight. Awesome show. That Wheeler hit was nasty.
Man, it's so bad.
MDK was cheered heavy. AEW Dark episode 100 was great as well. My first event was awesome. Says, and you was right about typical wrestling fans for sure. Glad you enjoy yourself, Dayron. Glad you enjoyed yourself, brother. Johnny Cloud9 just bought a Malachi Black House of Black t-shirt. Shit looks awesome. Can't wait to see more of him on AEW with a $4.99 super chat. Gotta support the cause, man. He's gonna be a big deal. Dayron with another $2 super chat. Yeah, we wasn't that loud, but we had a lot of fun tonight. Jeff with a $4.99 super chat. You guys catch MJF's promo at the end to Jericho. He caught a Punk's pipe bomb. So good. Yes, Jeff. Jesse actually called that out. I did not pick up on that live, but we did pick that up. Yes.
Yeah, it's like right away. I turned to my wife and I was like, did he just? And I started going back to research it. Like he did. They dropped a lot of little hints in there about Punk. Not too many about Daniel, but a lot of hints about Punk in this episode.
Yep. Saints 2025 with a $4.99 super chat. What do you think about Malachi Black versus Darby feud with Sting being involved in Black storytelling? It could be feud of the year. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to most. I think that would be fucking great.
Yep.
Susan D'Ambrosio with a $5 super chat. JD and Jesse, I'm hanging in there. Has one who lost one's parents a year and 3 months from one another.
Sorry to hear that.
Hang in there, Susan.
Sorry, very sorry to hear that.
We all love you and support you here in the venue, in the chat. Saints 2025 with a $1.99 super chat. Keith Lee versus who in AEW? Everybody.
Pick one.
Everybody.
Marco fucking Stunt right now be more interesting than what Keith Lee is doing.
Keith Lee could be put in the ring against a fucking Victoria's Secret mannequin. I don't give a fuck. Get him away from Vince and get him in a ring to do what he does. Which will all be the more reason why Triple H is a feeding system for Tony Khan.
Yep, as soon as they let him go, dude, I'm telling Keith Lee will be in AEW instantly.
NYC Demon Diva Issa with a $4.99 super chat. She says, best in the world. Shane McMahon is all elite confirmed. Just kidding.
Confirmed.
Just kidding.
Confirmed.
Who? What?
Confirmed.
Shane McMahon is all elite?
It's time for Shane to come back. He's been out for a little bit.
You know how many fucking memes I've seen this week with Triple H getting buried and NXT getting buried that he's going to leave WWE and join AEW as terrorizing?
That would be fucking great.
Oh, man.
That would just be great, dude. You know, Vince does not listen to Triple H for shit. Maybe Triple H should say, hey, you know what? I'll fucking leave. I'll go to AEW.
He should.
What the...
You want to bury NXT? It's in HBK's hands. Let me see you bury him.
Yeah. Go ahead. Bring him over. Make him an EVP. It'll be fine.
Yep. Anyway, guys, that is everything. Easter was the last super chat for the night. Thank you guys very much for all your support via the super chats. Thank you for your support. Showing up tonight, 2,500 large in the chat. 1,200 likes has been achieved. You guys are fucking awesome, man. The podcast continues to grow every single day, every single week. I will be back tomorrow with some extras. Got some extra coming your way. And then Friday, we're going to do SmackDown. And then Saturday, Off the Script, episode 385. Jesse, any final words before we get the hell out of here?
No, man. I do want to congratulate you because your numbers as of late have been through the roof. Yep. So a sincere hats off to you there, brother. Nice job.
Thank you.
And yeah, man, wrestling is picking up. I can't wait for it, man. It's only getting better every week.
Listen, man, I cannot fucking wait to get to Chicago. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be a fucking
times,
blast.
Man.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm kind of shocked that Conrad's not doing a fucking Starcast, man, to be honest.
I don't know if he's doing a Starcast, but we talked about this. I mentioned it to you last week. I think there may be something going on with AEW. It's going to be like a week-long thing. We'll see, depending on the COVID situation. But I think something's going down.
Hopefully, man. We'll see.
Anyway, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Helps out the chat after it gets published to YouTube. Subscribe if you have not done so. Join the OTS family. Become a VIP inside the OTS venue. And I will be back tomorrow, like I said, with some extras. I may be on YouTube on my second channel. Link is down below to go follow that. I may be streaming some Call of Duty. But until then, guys, listen, Jesse and I are getting in the Mustang, man. We got our cold beverages. I need two things from you right now. Number one, give me those guitar emojis in the chat right now, every single one of you. And number two, as soon as that guitar solo comes on, man, you know what to do. I want that music on max. I'll see you guys on Thursday for some extra. Friday live for SmackDown right here on Off the Script. Until next week, guys, AEW Homecoming. Jesse and I will see you next week on Off the Script. See you guys later.